All right, welcome to Gallatin, Tennessee. We've got Gallatin versus Germantown in the state semifinals today. And, Coach, it wasn't a good welcome for the Germantown Red Devils when they got here.
Well, they sent out the troops to welcome them the way they do most visitors to this city. When you come into this town, every business has a poster on it. Everything is a whole town shut down. That's when you're driving in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Germantown, Tennessee.
Yeah, and now I know how other people feel when they come into Germantown.
Yeah. So, big game here tonight. The newspapers think the winner of this one's going to have the upper hand going into the state finals next Saturday night. So, a lot of focus on this game, Coach.
Yeah, well, on paper, this is the state championship. The other side of the brackets doesn't have the stronger teams, and everybody's saying whoever wins this game should have a cakewalk in the championship.
So here come the Germantown Red Devils, 11-1, taking the field now. A little history on Germantown. They were named after the fire engine that dated back to the early 1900s. There's Red Devil 1. You can see it in all its glory. The story goes that the high school boys would man the Red Devil 1 during the day, and at night the men took over. And so Germantown just took that as its name of Red Devils. And so state semifinals, here's your matchups, Coach. Germantown versus Gallatin on one side, and Jefferson County versus McCallie on the other. So 12-1 Germantown versus 12-0 Gallatin.
Well, you got 24-1, so both these teams know how to win. They've come into the season beating people and beating them handily. I mean, not only has Gallatin won, they won strong, and they've got a lot of D1 athletes on their schedule and on their team, and they're expecting big things tonight.
Yeah, look at that differential there. You know, they're outscoring their opponents by 24 points on average. Reminds me of another team that's red and white from Shelby County.
Yeah, but right now this one's ranked number 1 in the state, so at least the papers think that right now Gallatin's a step ahead.
Yep, so Germantown comes in. The difference between these two teams, the way I see it on paper, Germantown got hot at the end of the season, got hot going into the playoffs, so they've really been outscoring people even more going into the playoffs. And, you know, the same differential, I mean, they're both winning by about 24 points, which is sort of interesting.
Well, and they got healthy at the end of the season, too. I mean, they went through the first 75% of the season. They were pretty banged up, and all of a sudden everybody's kind of clicking on all cylinders and feeling good.
Yeah, something's got to give here. I mean, both of these teams are winning big, 24 and 21 points. So that'll be that's the thing. What's going to give here? Is it Germantown's defense or Gallatin's offense? What's going to happen? And there's a little recent history here, Coach. Back in 1980, these two teams met in the same situation here in Gallatin. Germantown won 14-7.
So the seniors on this team were freshmen back then, so they don't remember that game other than watching it. So they remember what it feels like, but they weren't in that game.
Yeah. So it's really something when you're a freshman. You look up to those guys, and that's a big deal to you. So they remember that. So, Coach, walk us through last week's highlights against the Central Warriors.
Well, Germantown came into the game against the Central Warriors team that came out of the city, and they were red hot. They had a great game the week before, and they came right out and did what they do, nothing but power. The defense was strong as usual, and Central all night long had a hard time moving the ball. Germantown was able to mix it up. They just really they had a little bit of everything. Their guys were bigger than their guys, and our guys were faster than their guys, so they just kind of took control and held on to it. Scored early on.
First score, I think, by Germantown, they only got 3 points early. So, Central was a little stingy on defense starting out.
Well, when Central comes back, the second quarter, moved the ball a little bit, but Germantown got the stop, and then they marched it on and kept trying to work on the strength that they're going to do. You know they're going to do the same thing. They're going to come at you. Howard Moss getting around the end, finally got a score, and Mike Witt for the extra point.
Yeah, so at this point, Germantown's up 10-0 in the second quarter, and starting to stretch that lead out, Coach.
Well, what you don't want to do is get behind with Germantown, because that defense is going to keep you from scoring. So if you get down by more than 2 touchdowns, you're in trouble. And right off the bat, Germantown comes over and starts making big plays on defense.
Yeah, Mike O'Neill there with a big stop, and then they punted, and then you can see George Cantu rambling in, after a long drive by Germantown, going up 17-0 towards the end of the second quarter.
So Central's got one more shot at this. They're going to got to do something quick, and right off the bat, they get the turnover that was killing. Howard Moss gets the interception, runs it back deep into their territory, and then Cantu follows it up in that power I formation they have for the touchdown. They come back, they're able to throw the ball. Neighbors catches Buzz Wallfall on the side. It's 25-0, and we're still in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's not good when it's not even halftime and you're down 25-0. Germantown's defense just sort of took over at that point.
Yeah, Central just did not have the play variety or the strength to hold those guys back. So Germantown made another big stop. There's Bond Tubbs on the reception from Forest Neighbors for a big gain. They were able to run. They were able to hand off. They were able to throw. There's a counter to Chris Coppish, who got good distance over that right side of the line. He's able to bounce it outside. Heading for the corner, doesn't quite get there. And of course, there again, Cantu for the short yard touchdown. It's now 35-0 in the third quarter. Pretty much the writing is on the wall at this point.
Yeah, you saw earlier that Germantown threw the ball. Now, do you think they were doing that just to be funny, or?
Yeah, well, I think at some point when you do get ahead, you want to show the other team, because you know the film's going to go out on that game, and you want to make sure that they have to practice.
All right, back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Coach, once again, this is going to be a helter-skelter type of game based on everything we've read, and there was a lot of festivities early on. Both teams were really getting psyched up about this. A lot of pep rallies, a lot of community involvement, on both sides, in Gallatin and Germantown. There's a lot of similarities between the two towns.
There are. They're both tight-knit communities. They both all raised playing sports. Everybody shows up on Friday nights. It's a real small-town atmosphere right outside of big cities.
Yeah, and so Gallatin's got a great football tradition. They won the state championship in 1978. They were runners-up in 82. Good playoff appearance. They've got a lot of pride over there, and they're ranked number 3 in the country by the USA Today going into the game.
I think when you have this many folks that are supposed to be going to college and playing football, it's going to get that national attention for your rankings.
Coach, the high school AAA rankings have come out, and Germantown was ranked number 3 in the state of Tennessee. Do you feel that's going to have any effect on your play in tonight's game?
Well, I don't think it will have any effect on our play. It certainly has a kind of advantage for the other team. It fires them up and makes them want to win the ball game more. And if anything, the polls are more for parents and for the community than it is for the kids. They realize they've got to play good football to maintain that ranking, and I hope we can continue to play well and try to improve every week regardless of where we are in the rankings.
All right, so Germantown, they are known for their tradition in football as well. They were runner-up in 1980. They've yet to win a state championship, but they've been a stalwart in the playoffs, Coach.
Well, they've got a good feeder system. These kids start playing young and start playing together young, and they all start playing the same system when they're in 8th grade. So by the time they get to this point, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, so, and you can see here, Germantown really turned it on in the playoffs. That's kind of the difference that I see so far. And you look at that out-of-conference schedule. Germantown's played a tough schedule out of conference.
This is not their first big game. They've had lots of big games this year. They've been tested. They've been down. They know what it feels like, and they know what it takes to win. So this team has come into it with some knocks that's finally on the roll.
Absolutely. All right, so there's your regular season's totals for Germantown. You can look. They're going to throw the ball about 25% of the time. They're going to run it about 75% of the time. There's their total points average per game, rushing and passing, 254 yards total. And that's regular season totals. And those haven't done anything but go up. So when you start looking at the next level in the playoffs, you're going to see an additional 12 points scored and an additional 6 points not given up. And that's against a better competition.
And you finally got healthy. So you had bumps and bruises, been playing those tough games. Now when it's really important, you're peaking and feeling good.
Yeah, so Germantown, like I said, they've been runners-up, but they got to get better, Coach. Here we go.
What sort of improvements do you think need to be made for the team and for yourself?
Well, for the team, I think we need to be speed, and we got some pretty good teams coming against us this year. West Memphis, Arkansas, they pretty good. We got to speed up our speed.
Good one, yeah.
We got to speed up our speed. We got to speed up our speed.
So that's what we've got to do, Coach. We've got to speed up our speed.
Well, I think they did that. They spent a lot of time in the offseason working on speeding up their speed, and it's really starting to pay off.
Yeah, so these seniors, their focus has been speeding up their speed, and I hope we'll see if that's going to pay off today. But they've been together a long time, this bunch, and they've been working towards this goal.
Well, and they've been working towards this, and they paid the dues, and they paid them together. This is a really tight team. This is the first team to ever get their heads shaved together. So these guys have paid the price, and now there's time to shine and see if they really want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no question about it. So, this is a senior-led team, but there's a lot of talent in the junior class as well. So, here's your juniors. These are your juniors that are contributing, and a sophomore. So they get a lot of help from the underclassmen.
Well, you've got so many people playing both ways. You got to have some depth. Again, you're going to get banged up. You're going to get beaten, but you have to have somebody there. So our starting lineup tonight in the backs, you've got Forrest Neighbors, the quarterback. You've got Coppage, Cantu, Moss. Your receivers are going to be Von Tubbs and Gary Brown. In there, you've got arm, passing. You can do whatever you want to do with those receivers and backs. Online, you got a lot of size. You got a lot of talent. Adam Cecil, Eric Still, Jody Whitfield's in the middle, and Elliott Watts and Jay Duggins are the senior leadership on that line.
All right, Coach, walk us through that offensive scheme.
All right, well, Germantown's scheme is very simple. It looks very simple. They're going to run at you straight out of the A formation. It's option type offense that gives you lots of things to do on the line. So you've got two backs there. Usually the quarterback's going to come out and he has the option to hand off or pitch or run it. So that way you can have mobility off of your offense. You can run different plays off your sets. They can also split out. Then go to an I formation, put a man in motion. This spreads out the defense for them. This, when you're running the option, it gives them room on the outside and want to pass. So they're going to pass or they're going to run a wide stuff out of this motion offense. And then you can put guys in motion again to confuse the defense. So you can go in that I formation and you'll split the backs. This makes the defense adjust. Put a guy in motion. You're hoping to confuse them and be able to overload the side before they have a chance to make up. In this case, they came back and ran back to the weak side to catch them. They're going to run the ball 75% of the time, but they can pass. Germantown's thought of as a running offense. They're going to throw it 25% of the time, and when they do, they're very effective at Forrest Neighbors and those strong wide receivers. Hey, it's power football. They got a big, talented front line, and they're going to come right at you. The thing is, they're going to wait for you to make a mistake because they are not going to make a mistake. They're disciplined, big, and strong. And when you do make a mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. So they're going to come at you and chip away and chip away. You're going to miss a block, miss a tackle, and when you do, it's off to the races. And they're going to run inside with that power. They're just going to try to outnumber you. We're bigger than you. We're stronger than you. They're going to come out. Or they can bounce it outside. They'll hook that in. They got speed to go outside, and when they do, they know what to do with it. And don't forget about that passing game. They'll pass, and when they are, they're good at it. And that's because they've got a quarterback that makes really good decisions. They have a line that is strong, and even if they bring heat, you've got a line that can pick them up. You've got backs filling gaps. Neighbors is mobile. He's a pitcher for baseball. He knows how to put the ball where it needs to be. And he makes good decisions, carries out fakes. And you've got fantastic receivers. You're going to see very few drop balls, if any at all. If it hits them in their hands, it's going to go. So just about the time you load up on the inside, Germantown's going to drop back and throw it over your head.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing, too, is if this team gets an opportunity, if you leave them open to stack the line of scrimmage, they're going to throw it.
Yeah, there's no reason they can't. There's nothing to be afraid of in their game. They've got lots of options in the quarterback that knows how to pick them out.
All right, starting on defense for Germantown, Jay Duggins and Tom Pruitt at tackle, Gator Thomas at nose guard, Gerald Kilpatrick, Marshall Boswell at end, Howard Moss, Elliott Watts at linebacker, Paul West and Bon Tubbs at the corners, and Mike O'Neill at safety, and Brian Donnelly at free safety.
feel there's an experienced defensive lineup this year?
We have a good bit of experience this year. We have 4 starters back, and then plus the 4 starters, all of our other defensive people played extensively last year in the JV program.
How does the experience in the defense differ from last year?
Well, I would say probably that one of the main differences in this year's defense is that we're more team-oriented. We really, with the possible exception of Mark Bowen, don't have the super athlete on defense, but that we've got 11 individuals that have worked hard to become a team and have molded into a unit and done very well so far.
I've noticed more team spirit this year. Do you feel this has more to do with senior leadership, coaching ability, or do you think it's a combination of the two?
No, I think it's more the players than it is the coaches. I think it's hard. That's one of the things that's really hard for a coach to instill into the team, and so that's a result of senior leadership.
All right, I'm going to walk you through the defensive scheme now for Germantown. It all starts with the defensive coordinator, Leland Smith. Relentless as usual is what they're known as. He's going to signal the defensive signal into the captain. The captain receives the signal on the base scheme and in the secondary. They run a 5-2 defense. They like to attack out of it. They like to send linebackers. They'll send the strong safety. They'll send ends on the outside as well. So they're always attacking. Once the captain receives the signal from the coordinator, everyone starts out bunched together. The linebackers and defensive ends make their initial decision on strong side based on what the defensive captain calls. So they'll go to their respective sides. This can change when they see the formation. This is when the defensive captain actually calls the strong side. Strong safety is going to move to the strong side, free safety to the weak side. Defensive captain will look to confirm that the secondary is ready to go. He can call timeout here. He has the option until he is told otherwise by the coaching staff. So the captain makes the scheme calls. He's going to call slants, quick blitzes, eagles, adjustments. He can call those on the fly as well. Here's a slant. Germantown slamming to the strong side in this situation out of their 5-2. You'll see the tackles and the guards moving to their right to the strong side in this formation. They will blitz out of the 5-2. You'll see a linebacker being sent either inside or outside. In this scenario, he's sent on a red dog, attacking the running back. The defense is based on a lot of movement, so you're going to see a lot of movement up front by the defensive line and the defensive ends. They're trying to throw the offense off, so there's a lot of movement before the snap. And then the captain's going to call adjustments as he sees things happening with the quarterback, and he can adjust alignments here. Once again, a lot of movement before the snap. You're going to see Germantown moving around, trying to throw that offensive line off. They will also switch from a 5-2 to a 4-3 alignment. Sometimes they will move the nose guard back to a linebacker position. Generally with this defense this year, they will move the defensive end from an outside position to behind to a 4-3 set. They've only given up 104 total points this regular season. They haven't given up a touchdown in the playoffs. And they're known as relentless as usual. You can see a real improvement here going into the playoffs as well. They dropped that average down about 7 points. So even though competition has increased, they've just improved. Special teams, Walthall's got a nice average at 39 yards per punt. They haven't given up a touchdown all year long, and the opponent's only across the 50 once. And here's your coaching staff. Head coach Ken Netherland, defensive coordinator Leland Smith, offensive coordinator Rocky Graves, defensive back coach Raymond Duke, defensive back coach Charlie White, and offensive line coach Tommy Harrison. All right, so being entertained by the Gallatin band here right before we're getting ready to get started. Germantown came a ways. Germantown is about 3.5 hours from Gallatin, Tennessee, and that was quite a trip. It wasn't quite the warm welcome they'd been expecting, Coach.
Well, I think they were expecting company that night, prepared for it.
Yeah, Gallatin tries to intimidate people. There's no question about it. So Germantown, hopped in the bus. Everybody got in the cars, followed them up there. They got to town. You're pulling into town. You think it's just like any other game, right? Well, then McDonald's.
That's right.
McDonald's wasn't exactly.
Well, they had the corporate community behind them.
Right. Yeah.
Which is nice.
Go to hell, Germantown. The church is getting involved.
My goodness! You had everything. Everything was against you at that night.
So you get there, and some of the players said walking into the stadiums, they noticed that stands were already full, 2.5 hours before the game got there. Everybody's sitting in the stand with the lights off. So
and they had filled up half of the visitor side at the time.
Absolutely. All right, national anthem. All right, live from Gallatin Stadium. Here we are, Germantown versus Gallatin. And a lot of people, like you said, like Coach said earlier, a lot of people think this is for all the marbles.
Well, it is. And stats don't lie sometimes, but for the most part, these are the two best teams in the state of Tennessee. And according to national papers, one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah. So a little extra motivation for Germantown, Coach. They got there. It was kind of a dark entry into the stadium, and the state newspaper said that Gallatin was going to beat Germantown by 10 points.
Well, that would have been amazing because 10 points is more than been scored on
all year
in
long.
the entire playoffs at that point.
And then earlier tonight, all the fans for Germantown came down the field, got a big tunnel to lead the team out. And you can see where they were sitting earlier, and when they went back to their seats, the Gallatin fans had sort of tried to take their seats. So there was a little bit of a disagreement in the stands tonight, according to several people.
Well, and I bet they brought that Germantown spirit to the stands as well, and I bet they got the seats back.
Absolutely. All right, here we go, getting ready to go. We got Mike Witt getting ready to kick off. Live from Gallatin Stadium, once again, TSSAA State semifinals. All right, so we've got word that Coach Netland's having a little problems with his headset, so we're having some technical difficulties, Coach.
That's not good. That's not good at all. You need that.
Yeah, so it's that 1980s technology. He's got this thing sticking up out of his head here, and it goes down to a guy in Japan and goes to the Antarctic and then back to him, and there's a broken piece in there in the middle, I guess. So somewhere or another, there's something going on. So,
Which one of you assholes screwed up my headset?
All right, well, sorry, but we had a hot mic there. Turns out Coach Netherland had the sideline microphone hot. Apologize for that.
All right, well, we're back, and we've got it fixed, it looks like. So let's try this again.
All right, well, now I think we're finally ready to start
ready
this game. Time to bring Mike Witt and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's try one more time. All right, so Mike Witt to kick off. Here we go. TSSAA State semifinals live from Gallatin Stadium. Germantown versus Gallatin. Here we go. We're underway. Nice dip kick by Witt. Down to about the
kick. Oh, he bobbled it.
Yes, he did.
He didn't handle it at all.
Oh, good coverage by Germantown.
That's perfect.
Good coverage by Germantown. So real good kick and just great coverage. I mean, Germantown special teams, Coach.
Well, Germantown wins the special teams battle just about every game. And, gosh, you could not have wanted to start a big game in a better situation than this.
No. And so we got to change at quarterback. So Scott Kirby is out with a kidney injury, and Mike Connor, number 7, will start in his place. So this is sort of a big change. He got injured at the end of last game, Coach.
Oh, that's a big deal. That's a big. Anytime you lose your quarterback, that's intimidating. We hope he does good. We hope he recovers and everything is okay. But well, that's a big loss for Gallatin.
Yeah, no question about it. So this is that vaunted Germantown defense, and to me, this is what Germantown can always count on. Even when they struggle on offense. And there's the first play, and it's snap, and
that's what it looks like.
Good coverage. Ronnie Workings, number 33, did not get a lot of yards. He's that vaunted running back out of Gallatin, Coach.
Yeah, well, there was nothing there. They slanted into the hole. Howard Moss came in from behind and made the initial hit. But, boy, as soon as he did, there was a swarm of Red Devils. You're not going to outnumber them. They're going to come at you hard and fast, and when they hit you, you stay hit.
Absolutely. So, good start for Germantown on defense. Gallatin, first play got snuffed. So, we're looking at 2nd and 10 here.
And now when you're looking at having that backup quarterback, you're kind of scared to throw out of this situation. You don't know how he's going to handle that kind of pressure. So, if they stick it on the ground, Germantown knows what's coming.
2nd 11, ball on the 4-yard line. So they've lost a yard. Hand off on that right-hand side again, and Germantown just sticks it, Coach.
Yeah, that's easy picking right there. They knew the run was coming. It didn't work last time. They thought they'd give it one more shot to see what happens. It didn't work the second time either. This time you got Elliott Watts coming from the back side. He's shooting right in the hole. And Gator barrel roll Thomas up there, and Marshall Boswell's going to turn everything inside. So he takes on the block, turns it in. There he runs into Gator, runs into Elliott Watts, who finishes him off. Good play by the defense. Yeah,
just pursuit and gang tackling. That is kind of the formula there at Germantown. And they're attacking on defense, and that's what they're going to do. And that's what these 3 coaches teach, is to attack.
Well, they're a tough bunch of coaches. They're coaching some tough kids. Leland Smith is as tough as they come. Charlie White has those defensive backs that hit more than anybody else. And Raymond Duke is there to kind of help out and keep everything in the right position.
All right, so we're looking at 3rd down here for Gallatin. 3rd and 11, ball on the 4-yard line. Mike Connor's going to take the ball and hand off right back up the middle, and just stuffed right there by Jay Douglas.
Yeah, these guys have seen this play before, okay? So they run it to the right 2 times in a row, and then they fake a pitch and try to counter back to the backside. But the thing about Germantown is they teach discipline. And the guys are where they're supposed to be. So when that pitch didn't work, they come from the counter. You got somebody waiting right there for them. In fact, you got 6 guys waiting for them. They all saw that coming.
Yeah, that's a really tough start for Gallatin. You expected them to come out and kind of pound the ball a little bit better, but they struggled. They didn't pick up anything. We're looking at 4th and 10 here, and they're going to punt. It looks like Chris Coppage is having some equipment issues. His jersey's even backwards.
Well, that doesn't happen very often. That's unusual.
That's right. 4th and 10 for Gallatin. They're going to punt.
We're having a little trouble with the cameras. You've not had too much to drink. There we are, back inside.
All right, there's a snap. There's a kick. Nice high kick. On the way down, looks like Chris Coppage is going to call a fair catch at the 44-yard line. And so Germantown will take over there, Coach.
So Germantown is going to take over the ball. They got great field position because of the bad starting point that Gallatin had. They didn't make any yards at all, had to punt it. And now Germantown with that offense has got a full head of steam and some good field position.
Yeah, 1st and 10, ball on the 44. You're looking at that Germantown offense there, and I'll be curious to see the approach they take. If they're going to really kind of go up the middle. So there's the first play, 1st and 10 from the 44. Chris Coppage on the right-hand side for about 7 or 8 yards, Coach.
That's about as Germantown as it gets right there. They're going to turn and pitch. That's a 54 pitch. They're going to try to kick that man out, lead somebody into the block to hook inside. That ought to open up a little seam that Coppage goes straight into. Coppage is really big. He's a north and south runner. There's not a whole lot of juking or driving. He runs straight at you, and that play is custom made for his running style.
Yeah, so nice gain on 1st down for Germantown. They netted about 9 yards on that, so looks like it's going to bring up a or actually 7 yards. They're going to bring up 2nd and 3, ball on the 47-yard line. Neighbors under center. Germantown in A formation. Going to hand off right up the middle. Oh, nice dive play. Looks like by George Cantu. Going to pick up a first down, Germantown.
First down, Germantown. That's a great read by Neighbors. That's that triple option. The first thing he looks at is if it's okay to hand off. If not, he pulls it and runs. If the run's not there, he pitches. At that time, that hole opened up. He opens up, reads the hole, hands the ball off. Easy run, hard run for George Cantu.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Germantown, that's what you do. I mean, you're going to go outside, you're going to go inside, and their favorite thing to do is just to line up and run over you. So first down, Germantown on the move here on the 43-yard line, 1st and 10 from the 43. Neighbors under center is going to hand off right over on that right-hand side for about 3 yards.
That time Gallatin stunted it in that hole. They thought that 54 pitch play was coming back against us. Germantown had 7 yards on it the first time. They fill in that goal, and that way it's still gained yards. It's not as much as they had the first time they ran that play.
Yeah, but if you're Germantown, if you're going to get 3 yards a carry, that's what this offense is designed on. So
3 times 4 is 12, and that's more than 10. So you just keep doing your thing, and you'll be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Germantown math.
That's the most math I know. Yes, sir, Mr.
2nd and 7, ball on the 40-yard line. Neighbors is going to pitch the ball to Coppage on an option to the right-hand side. Coppage with a lot of room. There he goes down that right-hand side. Another big gain by Germantown, about 17 yards, Coach.
Well, there's that option. This time Neighbors reaches like he's going to hand off, and he sees that hole is covered, so he pulls the ball. You got Coppage behind him. That end shows his numbers way too early. That way, Neighbors is able to pitch early and get outside. Great downfield blocking. That's a signature of Germantown football teams. Big play, good yardage for Germantown.
Yeah, so this really sets Germantown up. They're really moving down on that side of the Gallatin ball. And this is just like this looks like a traditional Germantown drive. You know, they just want to line up and run the ball down your throat and then go outside. So 1st and 10, ball on the 23-yard line. He's going to hand off over on that left-hand side. Coppage for about 3 or 4 yards, Coach.
Hey, by the time they tested the left side, they know the right side will work pretty well. Let's see what the left side looks like. Let's get them thinking the other direction, moving things. That time it's there. He turns no left pitches. Your kick-out block happens. He comes in behind the block. The back stands up, makes a good hit. But he still got those 3 or 4 yards that you wanted to get. Now you're just waiting for them to make a mistake. Keep getting your 3 and 4 yards. When they make a mistake, you'll make a big play.
Yeah, so Germantown on the move here. 2nd and 2, ball on the 15-yard line. Neighbors under center. Germantown in A formation. He's going to pitch over there to Cantu for about another 7 or 8 yards, Coach.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, this thing is working just fine. They turn the pitch over the right side again. Cantu goes straight up the middle for another nice gain and another first down.
Look at that at yard average. 8 yards per carry, 6 for 47 yards, and they hadn't thrown the ball yet.
You know what? That happens at the line of scrimmage. Look at that hole. Goodness gracious, 3 people could have run through that hole. Anytime you're getting that many yards per run, you need to start off to look at the line and patting them on the back.
Yep. All right. So Germantown to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal. Ball on the 9-yard line. Neighbors under center. It's full backfield. He's going to hand off to Coppage over that left-hand side for about another 4 or 5 yards, Coach.
Yeah, they're starting to fill those holes from the inside a little bit. I think Gallatin is starting to guess.
Yeah, and there's your Germantown. They're going to flip-flop when they get down here. They'd like to run behind Big Eric Steele. He's about 260 pounds, and if you got a chance to run behind a guy like that, then you're going to do everything you can to make it
anybody with a brain likes to run behind Eric Steele because that's a safe run to do. So they'll move him over to the side, and they're just going to try to flood that spot with people inside.
2nd and goal, ball on the 1-yard line. Touchdown, Germantown. There's your first score, Coach.
Well, that's the first touchdown that's been scored on Gallatin this year, and it happened on the first time Germantown gets the ball. So we'll see how they respond to this, but Germantown could not have scripted a better start to a game. Big play starting off, they get the ball, take it right down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Germantown, that's what you wanted to do, right? I mean, you come out, you stop them on 3 straight plays. They don't gain a yard on your defense. You receive the punt, you walk right down the field, no issues whatsoever, no penalties, score, and now it's 7-0, and you've already eaten up about 6 minutes on the clock.
Eastbound and down, load it up and truck it. We're gonna do what Looks like we're about 28 minutes ahead of schedule.
I hate to say I told you so.
Well, now don't lose your head, son. We still got a lot of boogieing to do.
Now put the pedal to the metal.
This is Sheriff Buford T. Justice. I'm in pursuit of a black Trans Am.
Does this thing move?
Oh, yeah.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be?
Hell is the world coming to?
All right, back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Germantown 7, Gallatin nothing. So here's your scoring summary, Coach. Germantown just 8 plays, 56 yards, never put the ball in the air, no penalties, right down the field, just power football, and then go outside when you're not looking.
You know, Gallatin's got to be thinking, this looks like every game film I've seen of Germantown play this year. Germantown didn't change a thing. They came out and played Germantown football, and Gallatin's got to be thinking, oh, this is what was happening in the films we watched. They know what's coming, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to what they're going to do, you know, and once again, they're going to line up and they're going to run the ball right at you, and there's not a damn thing you can do. When they line up in that formation, you know they're going to run the ball. So, you know,
this is the first time Gallatin's been punched in the mouth. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you can just see the first downs there, just walking down the field, and then the 1 yard dive in. Just, you know, just typical Germantown football.
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, Gallatin's, see if they can get off the deck. I mean, they have absolutely been dealt a nasty punch. They were feeling good about themselves. They hadn't been scored on this entire playoffs. Hadn't been scored on much this year, as the stats were saying earlier. So I think it's important that they get off the deck and get off the deck pretty quick.
Yeah, the crowd looks a little stunned here in Gallatin. You know, we said once again, you know, there's 9,000 strong here at the game tonight, and they've been sitting here since 4 o'clock this afternoon to make sure they could get a seat.
Well, they're standing 3 deep around the fence. So this not only is everybody sitting down, it's literally the standing room open, standing room only times 3.
Yep. All right, and there's a kick. Witt's going to kick off again. Kicking down, and he's going to catch the ball. Oh, he fumbles the ball right there. Oh, then Germantown recovers. Wow.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that's how they responded.
Wow, man, I tell you what, you know, if you're Gallatin, you couldn't have just written it up much worse. I mean, you know, the ball hit him right in the chest and just came loose, and Germantown recovers. I think, you know, he was hit right about the time the ball got there. This really sets Germantown up in good field position.
What are you going to do? Okay, well, now let's see. Goodness gracious, you found out how they responded. That's not great. So they would go 3 and out. They fumble the kickoff. I don't know. They can start off worse than that, and they start scoring on themselves.
Yeah. You know, first down, ball on the 37-yard line. Germantown, neighbors under center, is going to hand off over on that left-hand side. About 2-3 yards there on that carry.
All right. Well, that time the guy filled the hole like he was supposed to do. Everybody follow the rules. Again, this thing is designed to get 2, 3, 4 yards and wait for you to make the mistake. That time the kid came up and made a nice hit.
Yeah, you got to give them sort of credit there. You know, Germantown's going to try to run behind this big offensive line. That's what they're going to want to do here now, especially in this situation, because they've got the ball. You know, Gallatin gave them a gift right down there on their side of the field. And they're on the 34-yard line, 2nd and 7. Neighbors under center. Germantown's going to break the ball this time. He's going to hand off on that left-hand side again to Mawson. Not a lot there, Coach. He looks like he might have gotten a yard.
Yeah, something went wrong on that. There was a wrong read or a handoff. I think it was supposed to read. They're trying to read the end rather than the tackle. He didn't get there in time. Neighbors pulled the ball and just kind of ate it. He wisely said, "All right, this isn't happening. Let's go down."
Yeah, you got to give some credit to Gallatin there. You know, it looked like they saw that one coming. But you know, Germantown is averaging about 6.2 yards a carry so far. So if you're Germantown, you just want to stay on the ground and keep doing what you're doing. Even 3rd and 5, you know, on the ball on the 26-yard line, they're going to try to run the football. So there's an option to the right. There's the pitch, and he kept it, and he looks like he may have gotten 2-3 yards.
Yeah, and I think this time that everybody did their job. That time, the first time they ran the big play on the option, the end crashed on Neighbors. He was able to pitch. This time, the end moves with Neighbors down the line, and it slowed down that decision. By the time Neighbors cut it up, because the 2 running backs recovered, that guy was there to make the hit. All right, so we got 4th and 2. This is it. Gallatin's got to make a big stand.
Yeah, so there's the handoff, and he's hit there. It's going to be close.
Oh,
it's going to be real close. He is within an inch. And the ball goes over on downs. They've already marked it. I tell you what, this crowd at Gallatin is really fired up now, Coach. They feel like they bounced back here.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what they need. And now they get to come back and make an impressive drive down the field to back that up. But boy, a touchdown there would have been devastating to Gallatin. So now, okay, a little bit of light. Let's see what happens. See if they can build some momentum off that big play.
Yeah, I think that's what you've got to do. If you're Gallatin, you've gotten a big stop there, and that's quite a big stop. We'll see when we come back.
Johnny! Yes, my butterkiss.
Time to rub the bunions.
Great.
You're so sweet, Johnny. Between the toes.
I know.
Oh.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
All right, back to Gallatin, Tennessee, where Gallatin has just slammed the door on Germantown, Coach. I mean, Germantown had the ball set up, nice field position, and just could not get a first down.
Yeah, you don't want to go down 2 touchdowns to Germantown or you're in big trouble. So now let's see it's got a little momentum. Let's see what happens.
All right, so they're going to hand the ball, go up the middle. Not a lot there, maybe a yard, maybe 2. First effort by Gallatin on the running game there on the first drive. Germantown sitting in that 5-2, Coach. This is their base defense. They're going to do a lot of things after it, and it looks like it's working so far. Gallatin's averaging about a half yard a carry.
Well, it's a good bend, don't break defense, too. So what they do is they put 4 guys back, kind of clean up any messes, and that way they can do a lot of stunts and a lot of good moves on the front.
Yep, 2nd and 8. He's going to pitch over there on the left-hand side.
Nice
Bon Tubb
hit.
comes up and takes his head off.
Oh, you got Mike O'Neill and Bon Tubbs met in the middle, and there was a Gallatin player in between them. So they come outside. Boswell turns it inside like he's supposed to do. O'Neill is there first, and then Tubbs takes out the trash. Goodness gracious, nice hit.
That is just really disciplined defense, and that's what Germantown does. They don't have a lot of superstars, but everybody is really good, and they're very disciplined.
Yeah, if that guy bounces it outside of Boswell, we don't get to him. But since he cut it back up, he had 2 guys from Germantown waiting for him.
Yeah, so, we're down to about 1:37 left in the first quarter, and this is kind of Germantown's kind of game. The ball's just moving slowly down the field. 3rd and 5, ball on 33-yard line. Big play here for Gallatin. He's going to reverse out. Oh, he looks like he's back to pass. There's Mike Connor throwing down the field. Oh, he's completed right in the middle of the field. Mike Strong with the big catch there right over the middle of the defense.
Wow, so that's a gigantic play for a bunch of reasons. They got a first down. They're feeling good about themselves. And Mike Connor now had his first taste of fire, and he came up and succeeded. He made a big play. It doesn't get any bigger than this, and he hits a guy right in the hands, just like he's supposed to. So your backup quarterback is now showing might be up for the test.
Yep, 1st and 10, ball on the 47-yard line. He's going to hand up right up the middle. Nice run again. There we go. Gallatin gained a little confidence, Coach.
Well, momentum's a big deal. All of a sudden, everybody feels a little bit better. It feels a little stronger. It feels a little faster. Momentum is absolutely in their favor now. It could not have gone worse for them. They're down 7 points, and now they got the ball and a little momentum. If they get out of this first quarter, they feel like they're still in it.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Germantown likes to attack out of that 5-2. Are they attacking now? They look like they're a little bit back on their heels.
Yeah, I think so. I think now that maybe they're playing not to lose rather than to win. When you get ahead, sometimes you get conservative. So they're not sending their linebackers, they're not stunning people. They're trying not to make a mistake. So rather than trying to make a big play, they're trying not to make a mistake. So let's see if they keep up with that scheme going forward.
Yeah, you see there on the first series, they're really attacking. Everybody's filling their holes. Everybody's attacking, and you don't see that on this series. So 2nd and 4, ball on the 49-yard line. Looks like the last play of the first quarter. Connor under center. He's going to roll out to his left-hand side. He's going to keep, and it looks like he's got a first down, Coach.
Yeah, they're going to end the first quarter on a positive note. I didn't see that happening because everything went bad for them. They ended up feeling good about themselves.
Universal Pictures presents everything you always wanted to do in high school with everyone you always wanted to do it with.
Hey, bud, let's party.
They're the students of Ridgemont High. Brad Hamilton, the fast food king.
I shall serve no fries
before their time.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Charles Jefferson, a man with a mission.
Oh, gnarly.
Linda Barrett, not exactly the girl next door.
Awesome. Totally awesome.
And Jeff surfs up Spicoli.
People on moods should not drive. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
See Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
All right, welcome back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Start of the second quarter. Germantown's up 7-0. But Coach, Gallatin's driving.
Yeah, they're not number one in the state they're number one for a reason. It's not because they just showed up to win a football game tonight. So they got up off the deck, dusted themselves off, putting together good drives.
Yeah, so there's your first quarter stats. You know, the first thing that jumps out at you is the yardage there. Germantown about doubled them up, but you've got a lot of yardage through the air for Gallatin. That's really where they kind of made it happen. But at the end of the day, it's still 7-0.
Yeah, all of Gallatin's time was really on that last drive. Germantown dominated the first part of the game because of Gallatin mistakes. They quit beating themselves. They may be just fine.
Yeah, and here's a big statistic right here. Germantown started on Gallatin's 47 on average, and Gallatin started at their own 17.
Yeah, well, they're playing on two different football fields. Germantown's is very short, and Gallatin's is very long. So let's see if they can keep that field position advantage throughout the game.
It's the simple things in football, people. It's the length of the field that really matters at the end of the day.
It's all math.
First and 10, ball on the 37-yard line for Gallatin. They're moving the ball. So Mike Connor coming up under center. He's going to hand off. No, actually, he's going to fake, drop back to pass. And nice pass right back over the middle to Mike Strong again.
Finds room in the middle again. Hey, there's your backup quarterback. Where's he been all year long? All of a sudden, he shows up under the bright lights and makes a couple of huge plays.
Yeah, they got 2 first downs. They picked both of them up really through the air. I mean, so they're loosening that Germantown defense up a little bit. They've only got 16 yards on the ground, but they're 44 through the air.
Well, you wonder if Germantown's thinking, hey, they got a backup quarterback in, we can afford to take some chances. And then Mr. Connor steps up and says, yeah, I think I'll find the middle of the field for you a couple of times for some big plays. Nice play.
Absolutely. So Gallatin on the move here. 11:01 left in the second quarter. They are moving the football. So let's see what Germantown can do here. First and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. This is they're getting close. They're going to hand off up the middle. There's a nice run for about another 6 or 7 yards, or another first down. First down, Gallatin.
This is one of those times where they're using Germantown's tendencies against them. They know they're aggressive. They know they'll go for the ball, so they run a counter. So they fake like they're pitching one side, then run it back to the weak side, hoping the Germantown guys will be aggressive and not be there staying at home.
Yeah, Germantown's first team defense hasn't given up a touchdown in the playoffs, so this is a pride thing for them. First and 10, ball on the 9-yard line. Mike Connor under center. Going to take the ball. Oh, nice run all the way down to the 2-yard line. Nice run, Coach.
Nice stop. Goodness. Hey, there you go, Gallatin. Here we go. We're on the goal line, feeling good about ourselves.
And Big Mo is in the game. I mean, you can just feel it. Big Mo's out there somewhere. I mean, they're just moving the ball down the field. I mean, it's just you got to give them credit for coming.
It sounds like it sounds like the entire town of Gallatin just woke up. I mean, everything is shaking and vibrating. You can literally feel the volume going on the field.
Yeah, second and goal, ball on the 2-yard line. Going to hand the ball up the middle. Oh, nice tackle there.
Hit.
Yeah, wow. So, and timeout Germantown. Looks like Germantown's going to think about it here. So they're going to take some time to think of what they're going to do. We'll be right back.
I can't believe they went with the frogs.
Louis.
Our audition was flawless.
Louis.
We did the look. Huh? We did the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Louis, frogs sell beer.
That's it, man. Number one rule of marketing.
The Budweiser Lizards. We could have been huge.
Hey, there'll be other auditions.
Oh, yeah, for what? This was Budweiser, buddy.
No.
This was big. Those frogs are gonna pay.
Let it go, Louie. Let it go.
All right, welcome back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Germantown 7, Gallatin nothing. Second quarter. Gallatin driving the football, 3rd and goal, ball on the 2-yard line. There's going to hand off right. Oh, he's going to roll out to his right, his left. Oh, Howard Moss on the sack. Quarterback's off for an 8-yard loss.
Big play by Moss. Goodness gracious. Down on the goal line, Gallatin getting ready to tie things up. They've gone the length of the field. It's Howard Moss for an 8-yard loss. That's why big players make big plays in big games, and Howard Moss just did that.
That was a huge play. So 4th and goal, and Gallatin will kick a field goal. There's a snap. Ball's down. It's up, and it's good. All right, 7-3. Gallatin's behind their team. I tell you what, the stands are getting excited here. Field goal was good. We've got a new ball game, Coach. Looks like Big Mo's kind of swung back to Gallatin.
It has, and now, as weird as it sounds, this is a big coaching moment for Gallatin because these guys, you know what, they drove all the way length of the field. They're still behind. So you got to convince them that, hey, this is the trend going forward. This is who we are. We weren't that before. We are now who we are and taking this thing forward. Germantown's got to be relieved because they're still ahead after giving up that many yards on one drive.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how kind of Germantown bounces back. I mean, there's your drive here, and you got to give Gallatin credit. They did what Germantown does. They just kind of drove down and picked up some first downs. Now they did it a little different way, Coach. The ball was in the air. 2 big pass receptions, so they got it more in big chunks. And when they got down on down on the goal line, they couldn't get in.
Hey, lady, yo, bite, don't come, you gotta bite. Hey, no. Don't go, you win. Don't let it. Ah!
All right, welcome back to Gallatin, Tennessee. I tell you what, the crowd has gotten raucous, Coach. I mean, they are excited here in Gallatin.
Well, they should be. They weathered the storm, and this is a team that hadn't been tested this year, so you don't know what's going to happen. Turns out they're going to be okay. They're going to come back and be strong.
Yeah, so things have kind of evened up here. Gallatin with 4 first downs now, get Germantown with 3, so pretty even through here the first couple of possessions, and you got to factor in that 1 turnover, which has had a lot to do with it too. So this is a big drive for Germantown.
Well, I think this is where that experience comes in. I fully expect Germantown to bounce back from this. They've been in this position before. They've dusted themselves off. I expect them to come back. What I didn't know is what Gallatin would do. Now that I know Gallatin can come back from adversity as well.
Yeah, Big Mo. So here we go. Big Mo is on Gallatin's side. So Gallatin's going to kick off, and Germantown's going to start on the 39-yard line. A nice return there. So Germantown will take over on the 39-yard line.
Once again, Germantown has a great special teams play, gets some good field. First time they've been on this side of the 50, but it's still good field position.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. This is their worst starting field position, and it's on their own 39. That's not too bad.
That's not too shabby. I'll take that.
Not too bad. All right, so Germantown, 1st and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line. Neighbors comes up. He's under center. Germantown in that A formation. They're going to hand off and just run it right up the middle for about 4 yards. Nice run by Germantown.
Well, they didn't freak out. They didn't. Sometimes when you have a little adversity, you want to start trying stuff you don't normally do or put in trick plays and stuff. Germantown's not going to do that. They know who they are. We're going to win or lose, but we're going to bring you the best we have. But this is what we got, and this is what we do. I expect them to keep that up.
Yeah, if you ask their defensive players, they've already won the game. They're not going to give up any points. So, 2nd and 6, ball on the 43-yard line. Neighbors under center. He's going to hand off on that left-hand side. Oh, a little fumble on the ball, but he held on to it, and looks like he gained about big gain there, actually, about first down Germantown.
You don't get to the championship by not being lucky a time or two, and this time the Neighbors reverses out. gives it to Moss. The handoff wasn't clean. Didn't see if it wasn't a pocket or if he missed the pocket, but fumbled it. Fortunately, maintained control. First down, Germantown.
Yeah, 1st and 10, ball on the 46-yard line. Germantown A formation. Neighbors under center. Going to just run a dive play up the middle for about 8 yards. I mean, that's just power football.
Yeah, that's one-on-one stuff. So you know your linemen are going to handle their guys. So it's one-on-one running back against a linebacker or defensive back. I kind of like my odds on that. But boy, that line manned up one-on-one. Each guy took care of their man.
Yeah, so Germantown's kind of settled this crowd back down. Coppage still having equipment issues. I just look at here. I mean,
he had to borrow sophomore shoes because he forgot his in his car.
That's what happened. He forgot his shoes.
I think it was a big sophomore. So
look at neighbors are checking on him there. You sure everything okay there, Cop?
Yeah. A little wobbly, but it's okay. We're ready to go.
At least his jersey's straight now. That's good. He's even got the stripes back from a couple years ago. All right, so here we go. Germantown 2nd and 6. Ball on the 42-yard line. 6:46 left in the second quarter. Neighbors, he's going to drop back to pass. Looking over in that corner, he's got Coppage on a little out pattern. There goes
nice
Coppage.
Move.
Nice reception. Good. Another first down. Neighbors to Coppage for the first down.
Had a little run after contact there. So this time they catch the guys playing deep. So what you're going to do is you're going to read that cornerback. You're going to send somebody deep and try to get that cornerback out of the way, then bring a running back out in the place that he just left. So the cornerback goes and chases the guy going deep, leaves the guy open in the flat, turns in, makes the guy move, a little contact, and is able to pick up another 5, 6, 7 yards after the first guy missed.
Yeah, that's going to keep them honest, too. 1st and 10 ball on the 33. Now they've thrown the ball, so we'll see how they respond here. There's Neighbors the quick hitter. He thinks Cantu's broken right through all the way for a touchdown. Germantown.
Well, you were just talking about it. You run the pass play before, and everybody backs up a little bit. Guess what? The middle opens up, and Cantu was ready. Everybody at the line, we've already shown they're hitting the handler guys one-on-one. Now it's a one-on-one between the running back and the free safety, but guess what? Great downfield block by Tubbs. Cantu cuts off behind it. Off to the races. Touchdown, Germantown.
Yeah, you couldn't draw it up any better than that. I mean, they got the block up front, and then Tubbs with the downfield blocking, and that's what always impresses me about this team is the blocking downfield. So Germantown 14, Gallatin 3.
Well, you were thinking just a little while ago, there's 6 minutes left in the half, and you're only down 7-3. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Now it's 14-3. You're down 2 scores going into the into the half, and Germantown gets the ball coming out of the second half. So that was a big score. Now we got to see if Gallatin can bounce back or not.
Yeah, so, here's Germantown scoring summary. 6 plays, 61 yards. The pass play there really set up sort of the play. Germantown moving the ball on the ground, just pounding the ball up the middle, and then, it's kind of lulled him into sleep there, and then just threw just a simple out pattern, and it literally wasn't but a 5-yard, 5 and out, and he turned it up and just went down that sideline, got another first down. You can see it right here. And, at this point, Gallatin's, what do we do now? What are they going to do? And then he just breaks right through the line, and Tubbs with a huge block downfield to score the touchdown.
I bet if I'd given you a blank piece of paper before the game and said, I want you to write out some scoring summaries, you'd have written exactly what's happened. I mean, this is Germantown football. They know what's coming, but the offense is too sophisticated. The players are too disciplined. You can't stop it.
Yeah, just looks like your typical Germantown, play there or drive there, except for the big play. But we notated earlier, and that's the thing about Germantown. They will get some big plays. I mean, they're gonna get some. They're gonna get their share. They're gonna pound it, yes, but at some point they're gonna break a big one, and Big Mo's back.
Yeah. Eventually you're gonna make a mistake. Everybody does. It's high school football, and when they do, they're going to be there every single time because they're disciplined in that way.
Yeah, so the crowd is just, you can hear the Germantown folks in the background, and the rest of the stadium, the other 7,000 people are just sort of chilled out now. And there's the kick. And it looks like Gallatin's going to take over on about the 20-yard line when we come back. So, all right, so big play offense. We talked about this earlier on the big play there. That's what Germantown's kind of named for, Coach. I mean, they're going to run the football, but then the big play comes into play.
Well, and you'll hear Rocky Gray say over and over again, we're not trying to do anything. We're waiting to see what they give us, and when they give it to us, we take it. And that's that discipline. Every single play has got 2 or 3 different varieties of different things they can do off of that play. So they just wait and see what's open. And that big line gives them enough time to do that. So they can run outside, cut it back in. If they start cheating to the outside, the defense does, well, guess what? They're going to come back inside. And then they can fake inside, and you've got capable receivers. You have an accurate, strong-arm quarterback. There's no weaknesses, so there's nothing for them to pick on. So about the time you say, they're passing it, we're going to load up on the outside, they're going to run it inside, and they still go the distance that way. But they're waiting for you to make that mistake. Even if 10 guys make a great play and one guy makes a mistake, Germantown's going to score on them.
Yep, every which way but loose. That's the way we fly here in Germantown, folks. And there goes O'Neal.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of 15 or 20 yards, just like 3, 4, 7, 70.
Yeah.
And then 2, 4, 8, 80. And so they just keep staying in the game, wait until it's kind of like playing cards. You kind of hang in the game and hope you hit a big hand eventually.
And then you send this bunch out here, that defense, and they don't give up points.
No.
That's just what they do.
Yeah.
They're just going to play defense.
And they just got a boost of confidence. They had a goal line standing themselves.
That's right. Here we go. So Gallatin gets about a yard there on that carry, maybe. I mean, all the momentum is towards Germantown now, and you look at that Germantown defense.
I've never seen Germantown's defense lose the after whistle battle. So you'll notice after the whistle is, they'll run up inside. Everybody's playing discipline. Your end turns it in. Your linebackers that are filling. You got Gator Thomas creating havoc in the middle. But then after the whistle goes down, they win that part of the battle as well.
Yeah, Leland Smith's going to bring the wood on that situation. So 2nd 8, ball on the 24-yard line. Connor's back to pass, setting up a screen play, and incomplete pass.
Tries to run a screen in the middle. That's one of those things where they try to use your aggression against you. So they kind of let everybody go, knowing you're going to go run like crazy to the quarterback, and they throw a little screen pass over your head.
Yeah, this is the thing with Germantown. Once again, it is not an offense or a defensive team. I mean, they expect excellence all the way around. And so now you're looking at 3rd and 8, ball on the 24-yard line if you're Gallatin. And a fumble, and ball knocked loose. And Germantown is recovered at about the 20-yard line. Fumble recovered by Germantown, coach.
Goodness gracious, every big play going Germantown's way. But you know what? That's not an accident. They make big things happen. They hit you hard. They get you thinking. You know what's going on. As soon as you make that mistake, on offense we talked about, you make a mistake, they take advantage of it. Defense is the same way. We had a fumble and got it back. They had a fumble. Germantown takes possession.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're a running back and you see that hole closed like that, you get you have to think. You're thinking, so he's turning out, he's reversing out, he's going to hand the ball off, and everything is sealed off. So he's got to try to make a quick decision, and he loses focus on actually trying to keep control of the ball, and Germantown's right there. They're going to get the ball. If the ball goes on the ground, they're going to get it.
Well, and you got to wonder if that's that backup quarterback. If maybe he's at half a step off or he's left-handed instead of right-handed, those little differences, half a step can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it's a big recovery by Marshall, Professor Boswell on that play. He likes to teach from the pulpit.
I guarantee you that Boswell was in the right place.
Yeah.
He was able to make that recovery because he was in the right place where he was supposed to be.
So 4th series for Gallatin, just same disaster, right? They just a couple of, one play and then incomplete pass and then the fumble. So, all of a sudden your back's back up against the wall. You're already down 14-3. So, you've just got to get a stop here.
Well, those coaches gave them that big rah-rah halftime. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to go out there. We're going to do this. And then you come out and lay an egg on the first series. And next thing you know, you're down another touchdown. We're going to find out what kind of good salesmen their coaches are as well, because they got to sell them that this game is still within reach.
Yeah, and I'm no genius, and I have no prognostication. But if I took a guess, I bet Germantown just comes up and runs it right down their throat.
Yeah, why not? Because they smell blood in the water as good as any shark is, and they feel they're able to cut right behind. Look at
there we go. For about 3 or 4 yards, and once again that Germantown math, coach. 3 times 4 equals 12.
I don't know what those backs are eating. Well, they're not very big, and they're filling holes and lowering the hammer when they fill in that hole. They've got some big open field tackles by the guys, so Germantown be up more.
Well, they're ranked number 3 in the country. I mean, it's got to be some talent on that side of the ball. There's Howard Moss on the handoff over on the left-hand side. No, first down, Germantown.
Yeah, they've been punching up that right side really, really strong, and they come back. And the cool thing about it is Neighbors turns the pitches really, really quick. So everything happens all of a sudden. Everybody's thinking right. And next thing you know, you got 3 guys running left at you.
So there you go. There's the first 3 drives for Germantown. You know, they had the one where they turned the ball, went over on downs. The other 2 just marched down the field. You had 1 pass there on the 3rd drive. But other than that, they've just been all on the ground.
Yeah, and they'll look at that drive, and you know what they're going to think about? The one they didn't get.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's that discipline stuff. They come on, they think there's always a way to improve and do better.
You know, just the opposite for Gallatin. They've had 4 possessions. They've had 1 really solid drive, and everything else was 3 and out or a fumble. I mean, so, you know, just night and day. Germantown will be mad because they weren't successful once. Gallatin's upset because they weren't successful 3 times. So, you know, I mean, it just a completely different mentality. All right, 1st and goal, ball on the 9-yard line. Neighbors comes up under center. Germantown in split backs. Actually, in a formation, going to hand off on the right-hand side. And it looks like he got about 4 yards, so he's real close.
There's Coppage powering ahead. Give me the ball quick. Turns up, north and south. Shame on you if you get in his way.
Yep, second and 6, 2nd and goal, ball on the 6-yard line. He's going to hand off on that right-hand center. There goes Coppage, touchdown, Germantown.
Oh, goodness, that was a big play. Big play.
Yeah, so, you know, that's got to take the wind out of Gallatin. And it's still having equipment problems. I mean, he just, what's going on?
I think he finally got the right sheet. That's how he can cut so quick. So, yeah, this time, after they got stuffed on the goal line last time, this is a big deal. So they're dropping back and leaving 3 guys back because they're still scared of that passing game. But they got to leave 3 guys back, and that opens up that middle. So once he's able to cut back behind that block, the linebacker over pursues, and there's nobody home to cover for him. And so you got downfield blocking in the back of the end zone.
The field vision was really good there for Coppage to be able to see on that backside that he was able to cut it back up. I mean, just fantastic there.
It's using that momentum, I guess, and that was a beautiful play.
Yeah, just absolutely good field vision, which is just key as a running back. So, you know, Germantown is now up 21-3. And here on that 4th series, just more of the same, right? So you take the ball. You run the ball, then you pick up a 1st down. You run the ball, and you don't need a 1st down because you just score a touchdown. But they're just moving the ball on the ground. That's what they do, and that's just Germantown football.
Well, it's like my dad used to say, good big people beat good little people every time.
Absolutely. It's
just kind of a physics thing. When you get down there, that's when all that off-season weight program, all that running, all those things. I'll tell you something else. Germantown's not going to get tired.
No.
They got the best season. They got the best conditioned team out there usually, so they tend to get stronger as the game goes on.
So there you got a score coming in from Jefferson County and McCauley. Jefferson County's up 7-0 on McCauley here in the 2nd quarter. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game next Saturday night at 7 o'clock in Vanderbilt Stadium. Expecting a big turnout for the AAA State Championship to be broadcast on Nashville, Tennessee TV.
Now you got 2 sales jobs going on. You got Gallatin trying to convince his team that they're still in this. You got Germantown trying to convince their team that this game's not over yet, and they got to keep the hammer down.
Yep, so there's the kickoff. Germantown kicking the ball through the end zone. Just another deep kick by Witt. Just beautiful. You know, time running down on Gallatin here in the 1st quarter. And to your point, Germantown gets the ball to start 2nd half. I mean, so, you know, if you're Gallatin, you almost feel like you got to do something. You got the ball 1st and 10 on your own 20, but you got to do something.
They got to be thinking, what the heck happened?
He's going to roll out, and he's going to throw out, and just incomplete. You know, just good coverage over there on that side. You know, the corner came up, the linebacker came out, and, you know, it's an incomplete pass.
Do what you're supposed to do, be where you're supposed to be.
2nd and 10, ball on the 20-yard line. He's going to roll out. He's going to hand the ball around, and the ball was knocked loose by Elliott Watson, recovered by your one and only Paul West.
Oh, my goodness. So Elliott comes up, makes the big hit, jars the ball loose. Ollie on the spot, picks up the fumble.
And then the high five.
And gets a big high five for knocking the ball loose. Fantastic play. Guess what? They got another chance to score before halftime.
Yeah, you know, that defense is going to create things to happen, and there's just that defense, there's a lot of pride over there. They're going to hit people hard, and they like to score. In fact, if you went back and looked at all of their games this year, I think they actually outscored every offense they played.
Yeah, it's not like the other team's ball is more slippery than yours.
Yeah,
that ball is getting knocked out of their hands more often than not. They're getting popped over and over again.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, this offense is fantastic. It's powerful. It's going to score. It's what it does. it scores a lot in the first half, and then it runs the clock out in the second half, and the defense just gets stronger and shuts people down. That's just what they're going to do. Germantown had called a timeout here. There's about 33 seconds left. They're going to take the ball on first down. They're going to hand off on the side and see if they can get a couple yards, get the ball maybe in better field goal position. Looks like they're playing for a field goal here, Coach.
Well, they have a good field goal kicker. That's something in high school is kind of rare. For a lot of teams, it's amazing how many times in high school games that it comes down to the kicking game. And they've got a really strong kicker in Mike Witt. He's been tested all season long, got a strong leg, and an accurate leg. From this distance, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and they just let the clock run here. They're just going to let it run out. It looks like he's going to kick it up, and it's good. Yeah. So Germantown scores there at the end of the clock running out, to go ahead 24-3 at halftime. I mean, just an impressive performance so far.
Well, what are you going to do if you're Gallatin? Goodness gracious, Germantown's got everything going for them. What seems like luck ain't always luck. So these guys have been where they're supposed to be. They play good disciplined football. They've been there when the opportunities arose. And, hey, 24-3, you got to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
All right, here we are at halftime, back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Quite the first half, Coach. I'll tell you what, I was real impressed by Germantown. They only had the one little hiccup on the bad drive, but other than that, just complete dominance.
Yeah, well, they got stuffed on the goal line. Gallatin came back with momentum and still made the stop. With 6 minutes left in the first half, it was a 7-3 game, and now you look up and Germantown's got control of this.
Yeah, so here's your first half stats. Obviously the first thing jumps out there is the rushing yards. I mean, just like 5-1, 4-1. Just complete dominance there. Really, the only thing that Gallatin really had working for him was the passing yards. I mean, and then from a total yard standpoint, it's just more than 2-1.
Well, and there's those big plays, and those aren't. That's not an accident. You'll see that's a trend throughout the season. That's from big hits and being in the right place at the right time.
I think that's something that needs to be stressed more than anything. That Germantown defense is just taught to hit you hard, tackle, and gain tackling and take away the ball. And, that points to this. I mean, that defense is not going to stay out there very long, and that offense is going to eat up time. And look at that time of possession. It's more than 3-1. Yeah,
well, Germantown's defense makes being an offense really, really easy because you can do whatever you want to do, and those guys are still not going to be able to score on you. And they had possession. They got the ball. That's ball control football. That is Germantown football all the way.
Yeah, so here's the first half, drive chart. So you look at Germantown, and we talked about this earlier. Really, the only mistake, quote-unquote mistake, was the second drive there when they went for a total of about actually 9 yards and went over on downs. I mean, and then there's the first half drive chart of Gallatin, and with the exception of that third drive, they had 0 success.
Yeah, and it was kind of like Otis the drunk on Mayberry. There's a whole lot of hiccups on that thing. They fumbled every way. They made every mistake they could make. Germantown they had one drive, and even that was bolstered by the passing game by their backup quarterback. So they've got to really come back fast. And guess what? Germantown's got the ball in the second half. So if you're Gallatin, that is a tall mountain to climb. Germantown's got to feel pretty good about themselves.
Oh, the old Otis quote, man. I love Otis. All right, so there's the Germantown defense, and they were relentless as usual. They don't get talked about a lot, so we thought we would start out with them. They allowed a total of 3 points, and I think it all started on this first drive. I mean, they just were in attack mode. Everything Gallatin did on that first drive resulted in 0 yards. I mean, just hit them in the face. We talked earlier that Gallatin had a nice drive on the third drive, but other than that, Germantown just slammed the door and is causing turnovers. And look at that, 19 total yards rushing.
Well, and look at the crowd. You see they're 3 or 4 deep going around the fence, and Germantown gets off of a long bus ride, walks up and sees a whole a 3/4 full stadium. They got to be intimidated against one of the top teams in the country, and they come right out and just smoke them in the first half.
Yeah, and then the offense, they scored on 4 or 5 possessions. I mean, that is not perfect. I'll give you that. They were not perfect. Neither was the defense, but pretty damn close.
Well, and they were efficient. There's no doubt about that. And no mistakes. Germantown football and offense and defense is about no mistakes and being disciplined.
Yeah, I mean, 146 total yards, no turnovers, dictated the flow of the game, 3-1 time of possession. I don't know if you could have drawn it up a little bit better. There is that one possession that they did not score on, and then there's that one possession where the defense struggled, but that's it.
I can't believe it. It's my first blind date.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Really? Woo! You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
Great. We've got chemistry here. You feel it?
I felt it.
All right, Janice.
All right, here we are back again to Gallatin, Tennessee. Here's the bracket for the TSSAA state playoffs. Jefferson County versus McCallie, first half highlights. Jefferson County with solid defense on the first couple of series. Then they got an opportunity for a turnover at the McCallie 25-yard line on a fumble. Jefferson County takes advantage of that, hands the ball off on the left-hand side for a nice run and 7 points. A little later on, Jefferson County's got a field goal to go up 10-0. From there, it was back and forth through the beginning of the second quarter, and then McCallie scored a touchdown late in the second quarter to move it to 10-7 at halftime.
We're bringing the halftime show tonight to Kenny Gilbert, Gallatin fan. The cheerleaders didn't show me much, so we didn't decide to go down there. Kenny, are you an alum, Gallatin? Yes. 1977. How'd y'all do in 77? 77 we came, I can't go back that far. 78, I know we won the state. But you weren't here then, so that doesn't show me much, Kenny. What about all this Gallatin tradition, Gallatin pride you've been telling me about? The road to the Clinic Bowl comes through Gallatin. Check your record book.
Okay, big plays in the first half. We took the top 3. Number 3, breakaway run of 33 yards by George Cantu. Gallatin's got the line of scrimmage stacked up. Germantown breaks through there with a nice block on that right side. And then Von Tubbs gets downfield and gets a block on the free safety, and that springs Cantu around that edge. That was a big play because it got Germantown up by 14 points at that point. Number 2. Second quarter fumble recovery. This was a big play because Germantown able to keep Gallatin from answering Germantown's score. Marshall Boswell broke the ball away and Germantown recovered. And the number 1 biggest play, and this may surprise you a little bit, we chose the opening kickoff. And the reason we did this, it seemed like it was the biggest momentum builder of the game. It allowed Germantown to really come out with a lot of momentum from the very beginning. So Witt gets a really big kick. This ends up being key. Germantown's got good lane coverage. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. you can see Gallatin starting to set up their wall, and it was well executed. I mean, it was well designed. Everybody's in their right place. But with Witt getting that kick all the way down to the end zone, Gallatin's trying to seal the edge, and the receiver's not able to get there to the lane in time. So the receiver's late. He actually starts out a little bit to his left, and then you can see him now come back to his right. And this sort of throws the timing off, and you can also see Germantown blowing up the play. The defensive end beats the block, and you can see the others are starting to get through their wall. And, once again, this blows up the play and gives Germantown the ability to stop the receiver at the 5-yard line for just a really big, huge play. It just built momentum and put Germantown in the driver's seat from the very beginning. So, big play.
George Cantu looked like he was carrying the ball more than anyone and did very well the majority of the time. Are you centering the backfield around George this year?
No, we don't center the backfield around any one individual. We take what the defense gives us. We have 4 backs, 5 backs that are capable of carrying the football. And whoever the defense leaves open, that's the man that we'll give the football to. This first half, it's just happened to work out where, they left the plays that George runs open. Howard's has made several great plays tonight. Buzz Wathall, I believe, scored the first touchdown. I'm not sure. I don't really know who scores or really who carries the ball. I really don't. But all our backs have contributed well, and our offensive line's done a tremendous job, and Forrest Neighbors has done a fine job in running the option and running the team.
Are you trying to give the ball a little bit more to Howard Moss this game than you did in last week's game?
No, I'm not real particularly concerned about which back carries the ball. We're trying to take what the defense gives us. And if it happens to be the routes or the plays or the holes that Howard runs, that's great. If it's the holes that somebody else runs, that's great too. All we're trying to do is just take what they give us.
All right, I noticed that you've been giving the ball to Forrest Neighbors a little bit more tonight. George Cantu and Howard have been running the ball, but he's really turned in some nice plays the quarterback has.
Well, like I told you last week and the week before, we don't give the ball to anybody. The defense dictates who can take the ball. Tonight, their defense and the blocking pattern we're using is allowing our quarterback to carry the ball a little bit more than usual. We don't have any particular preference as to which back carries the ball.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. This is a family show. All right, Coach, any more thoughts on that kickoff return, that number 1 big play?
Well, that's one of those, it switched the momentum. You're coming into another person's field. You've been on a long trip. How are things going to go right off the bat? You make a big play like that. It leveled the field very quickly.
So in the second half, this is kind of what we came up with. Germantown, just don't turn the ball over, run the football, don't take the foot off the gas, and defense remain relentless as usual. I think that's what they've got to do to win.
Well, if I were a betting man, I would bet Germantown's going to be okay, but that's easy to say with a 24-3 lead. But Germantown has been here before. They've been ahead before. They've been in control before. Gallatin's never been here before. They've never been behind and desperate. So they're either going to come out, they're going to try, they can't keep doing the same thing they're doing. They're going to try something different. And if that different works, well, we got a ball game. If that different doesn't work, it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, can they find their confidence? Can they use the speed to the outside? The defense can't give up any more points. And can they, get some defensive turnovers?
Yeah, another one more turnover, it's over.
Yeah.
So they got to come out and play turnover-free football, and they're going to have to do something they haven't been doing, something they're not comfortable doing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen for Gallatin to get back in this game.
Make love, get down.
All right, here we are back in the second half. Germantown versus Gallatin. We're kind of wrapping things up here. The crowd kind of entertained at halftime by the Georgia Satellites. They were on the field. So the Georgia Satellites were entertaining the team.
It's fantastic. That's a young up-and-coming band. I think they have a bright future ahead of them.
Yeah. So Paul West and Elliot Watts actually snuck out of the locker room, I think, to go see them. So there was a little confusion there, but anyway, they got back and got some things settled, so they're ready to go in the second half.
Well, I understand from our sideline reporter that the parents won the halftime. So apparently, on top of being very supportive Germantown parents, they're good at talking smack. So the Germantown parents apparently won halftime as well.
Yeah. So Germantown's coming back out, and I would imagine they got chewed out pretty bad over giving up those 3 points.
Oh, you know what, they should, because that's a whole lot more than they've been giving up. So, look, they're ahead, and they've obviously favored to go going forward to win this game, but that's not Germantown style. They need to keep their foot on the pedal. They need to finish out this game and not relax. Don't forget the team on the other side of the field is ranked number 1 in the state and nationally. And you don't want to let them wake up.
So if this team's number 3 in the country, where does that put Germantown if you're ahead 24-3 at that?
Well, they put them 21 points ahead of the number 3 team in the country. so I don't know. It tells you that sports writers never played sports before.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it's about.
That must be a really good number 2 and a really good number 1 team. I mean, they can beat
there's not a whole lot of really big sports writers out there. So I don't know. Maybe they're just reading stats and hearing whatever people say. But nobody's ever won a game in the newspaper. So they always win it on grass. And right now, Germantown is showing that the hard work is paying off.
All right, so here comes Germantown out. They're going to receive the second half, and this is just brutal. I mean, if you're Gallatin, you've just been destroyed, and you're going to have to kick off to Craig Hallman here, who's pretty dangerous, and he's returned some balls across the 50 several times this year.
Everything's gone wrong. You've had a lot of turnovers. Ron O'Neal smack-talked you during halftime while you're getting a hot dog. So everything's gone bad for Gallatin. Let's see if they can recoup here.
All right, here we go. So there's a kickoff, and the ball looks like it's going to go into the end zone. So it looks like Germantown will be bringing the ball out to the 20-yard line to start there. So here we are back in the TSSAA state semifinals, and so this team will play the winner of Jefferson County and McCauley. So 1st and 10, Germantown ball on the 20. Germantown's going to come to the line of scrimmage. Neighbors under center. We're in A formation. Going to hand off over on that right-hand side for about 4 or 5 yards. Nice dive play, Coach.
Yeah, that play surprised 3 people in the stands. Everybody knew that was coming. Everybody knew that Germantown's going to try not to make a mistake. They're not going to take any chances. They're going to play ball control football, and still they got 7 or 8 yards, even though everybody in the stands and all 22 people on the field knew that was going to be the play coming up.
Yeah, that's just a look. Look at the blocking there, and look at just the power to just run that ball right up the middle, and that's over Jody Whitfield and Adam Cecil over there on that right-hand side. Just fantastic.
That line, look, they don't get a lot of shout-outs, but you got Still and Cecil and Whitfield and Watts and Duggins. Those are guys who are doing the dirty work. They don't get their names in the paper a whole lot other than every once in a while, but those are the guys doing the work in there. Look at the surge. That's what we're talking about. When you go back, look at they're not getting touched for 2 or 3 yards. Look at the surge on the left side of the line. Come firing off.
Yeah, just pushing the ball right up the middle. That's just right up the gut right there. Just Germantown just doing what Germantown does.
I got 3 yards because that's all I needed. Howard Moss is a good stat. He gets us first down.
1st and 10. They're going to pitch outside the coppage on the right-hand side. Another 7 yards.
Blocking downfield. It's scary. Well, they're still happy. They must be watching the game.
Yeah, either that or they think they're on TV.
It could be that. But, hey, I like that hairstyle. That looks like you remember this play? We talked about it like the first series that came out. This is 54 pitch. It's the basic stuff. It's the kick-out block. It's the load on the linebacker. You got blocking downfield. One mistake, this play goes the distance. Worst-case scenario, you got 7 or 8 yards. You got more numbers. You got bigger people. You got precise blocks. One mistake and you're in trouble. What a beautiful play with 54 pitch.
Well, I was talking to Charlie White about that play, and he said, Coppage just has a feel for running that play. It's just it's just something that it just fits him. He finds that core, that groove right there, and finds those little spots in there, and is able to just make it happen. And it's just a nature of the thing. But here is Neighbors under center. He's going to hand off on the left-hand side this time and get about 2-3 yards.
Good defensive play. That play is not really built upon you overpowering the guy in front of you. It's built upon you making a mistake and not being there that time. The guy stayed at home.
Yeah, so, that play, it looked like, and let's see if we can see here on the replay. It looks like, so over on the left-hand side, looks like a cross block. So if you watch the guard here, he's going to block down on the tackle. And I think what that does, normally it would work, but it allows the nose guard to kind of run free right there. So the nose guard came off the center, and I think that's what blew that play up. If he wouldn't have been there, it looks like that thing would have had another 4 or 5 yards. So I think it was just kind of a perfect storm there.
Well, they don't all work.
No.
And sometimes you're setting up for yourself, you run right and then come back to left, and good players make good plays.
Yeah, still 3rd and 1, though. Germantown's going to pound the ball right over the middle first time. So, it didn't work, and still we got a first down.
That's one of those plays where Neighbors can walk up, which I heard he's been known to do, and say, we're going to run right here. And he is, and this is a true story, Neighbors has walked up to the line before and told the other team, here's where we're going to run. And boy,
you can't
that
stop
intimidate you. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can't stop it. So there's your Germantown coaching staff, and I mean that bunch right there. There is a lot of talent in that group. I mean, I think that makes this team more than anybody else. So first down, Germantown going to hand the ball over on the right-hand side for about another 3 or 4 yards. And Germantown just doing what Germantown does, Coach, just running the ball right up the middle.
Yeah, that wasn't a clean handoff. They bobbled it just a little bit. I mean, want to tighten that up some, make sure that doesn't become a catastrophe. And sometimes it's your night. Germantown's had two bobbled handoffs that our players fell on. Gallatin, on the other hand, every time they bobbled something, it's cost them big time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There were 2 bobbled handoffs, and Germantown hung on to the football. Gallatin's had 2 bobbled footballs and fumbles.
Sure. Well, we bobble the ball, we can get it back. They bobble the ball, they got somebody smacking them in the face.
There's a handoff. They're pitched to Moss back to the left-hand side for about 7 yards. So there's 53 pitch. There's the same play going back to the other side. And there's the team right there, and that is just football right there. So there's a lot of people involved to make this happen.
Watts never gets more than 3 feet off the ground. He stays in his stance the entire time, makes his kick-out block that they're able to cut off on behind. They don't waste a whole lot of time. Everything, the mechanics are perfect on this team. Watts stayed low, hit the guy, kicked him out, Moss cut up. Guess what? Another 5 yards, just what it's designed to do.
Yeah, Germantown's just really, coming out here in the second half and just pounding the football. This is just what they did. So we've got a timeout on the field, it looks like. And so, the Germantown current drive, Coach, 2 first downs, 7 plays, 30 yards, 30 on the ground. They're not going to throw the football probably in the second half.
Yeah, if you look up in the dictionary of Germantown football, you're going to see these plays set up there because they're just running right out of the thing. Again, don't make a mistake. Keep the ball in your hand. No reason to throw it because that's going to stop the clock if you got an incomplete pass. Keep the ball, run it up the middle, no mistakes, burn the clock out.
3rd and 4, ball on the 49. He's going to hand the ball off, and it looks like he's going to be short. Looks like Gallatin held there, Coach. It looks like Gallatin got stuffed up a little bit.
Well, Germantown's going to be conservative, so they didn't try anything special. They went up the middle to see if they could get the plays there. It's just maybe 4-down territory at this distance. I don't know.
That's a good question.
They stacked everybody in the box. The 80 people inside, they knew they were going to run up the middle, and they just outnumbered them. You had 8 against 5.
Yeah.
And ran a
it
little
looked
gap.
like if he just couldn't quite get the cut. But look at there at the top. You got Tubbs heading down that side. Was it a read option there? If he'd have pulled that ball and hit Tubbs, it looked like he was setting up a pass.
No need to go for it. Let's punt it. Yeah. Let's pin them deep. They ought to be used to being deep in their own territory by now.
Well, so you got to give Gallatin credit. That's what they had to do. They had to get a stop, and it looks like they're going to get that.
Yeah, if Germantown scores there, the game's over.
To you, it
It may just be an elevator.
Here goes nothing.
But for a young homeowner becoming their parents, it's a learning opportunity.
Come on in. The more the merrier. Paris, huh? Bonjour. We got any out-of-towners in the elevator?
Tom, it is not easy.
10th floor, huh? Must be a heck of a view.
Okay, see how everyone else is facing this way?
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, that was terrible.
Okay, let's hang back. We're going to try that again.
All right, here we are back in Gallatin, Tennessee. That Germantown defense coming back out, and they've had a lot of success outside of that one series, Coach. I mean, we'll have to see if they can come out and kind of just attack again.
Well, if they get a bunch of yards, they gave up that one long drive. Other than that, it's been nothing. It's just been Germantown defense. They've been mean, they've been ugly, they've been nasty. It hasn't been fancy, it hasn't been anything other than stunning and tackling and being where they're supposed to be. They have yet to make a mistake on defense. No big plays. Even the pass plays were for 12, 14 yards in the center. Nothing long, nothing deep. They've kept everything contained. And right now, all they got to do is not make a big mistake. You're way ahead. Just don't screw up at this point.
Yeah, 1st and 10 ball on the 22-yard line for Gallatin. And he looks like he's going to drop back to pass. There goes Connor back to pass, looking back down the middle. There he is again. I tell you what, Mike, there's Mike Strong once again. Oh, and a long run.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Big play there. You know, Gallatin must have really looked at what they were successful on in the first half. So, hey, let's try to throw the ball when we come out.
They got to be who they ain't been yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they got to try something different. They have to do some different things. We talked about it earlier before. They can't keep doing what they're doing. So they'll either be successful at it or they're going to fail. This time, they fake the counter. You got everybody back, trying not to give up that big play, but look at the big hole that leaves in the center. Every time you do something, you're opening up something else. There's Woods. He's the D1 receiver, so you know you got to play that. Look how far back Tubbs is playing off of Woods. And that opens up that middle. And there's that tight end again. This is the 3rd time he's made a big play. This time, breaks the tackle. He turns 15 yards into 20 or so. I mean, there's nobody within 5 or 6 yards.
Well, I think that's the thing, what you just said right there. You know, yards after catch. Look at that. I mean, he picked up another 14 yards after catching that ball this time. So, you know, Germantown's playing back. You got a nice lead. You don't want to give up anything behind you. We'll have to see what they do here. I mean, are they going to continue to run that safety defense? So 1st and 10 ball on the 47-yard line. Connor going to hand off up the middle again. Another nice game for about 6 yards.
You can tell Germantown's playing to keep everything in front of them. The defensive backs are super deep, keeping things in front of them. Everybody's trying not to pursue too much. Everything's being really conservative. Everybody's staying at home. Look, that defensive line is not attacking like they were in the first half. They're kind of on their heels a little bit. They're trying not to give up the big play. Pruitt comes back, was able to come back, pull off the block, and make the tackle. But everybody, they're going to let you have 5 yards. Why not? Take 5 yards, we're up 21 points. They're going to keep things in front of you, but you don't want the big Mo to take over, and you got to make sure you keep Gallatin in front of you. No big plays, nothing fast happening.
No doubt. Here comes Big Mo. That's what you're concerned about if Germantown. They'll get the crowd back in this thing. So 1st down, he's gonna roll back out. There's Connor looking back down the field. There he is again. Mike Strong, another 1st down. I tell you what, he's sort of picking them apart in the middle, Coach.
Yeah, that's the play. I mean, they've quit all the power plays. They're all running counters and crosses and misdirection. And Germantown, look, you got West back 11 yards. You got Tubbs back on the other side. Everybody's dropping straight back and leaving that middle open.
So he swings back right behind the linebacker, and the linebacker's blocked off by the official.
That's a good pick by the Germantown.
Yeah, it's a really nice pick. You know, Watts is about 5 yards off of that play. If he wouldn't have been picked by the official, I'm not sure he's able to throw that football.
Well, and Woods, number 5, is the guy. He's a legitimate D1 prospect, and so all 3 of the backs are dropping way back. So they're running him deep and bringing the tight end in behind him in that spot. And again, as painful as it is to watch the completion, it ain't a touchdown. And Germantown's trying to keep everything in front of them. Again, no big play. So you don't want to give them up 10 or 15 at a time, but as long as it's not a touchdown, we're okay.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. There goes Connor back to pass. He's looking over to his left, and incomplete. Good coverage that time. Looks like the strong safety maybe. O'Neal there, Coach?
Not sure. We'll see on the replay who that is. See, this time they got the tight end on that side, so everything shifted over. They send somebody in motion.
Yeah, there goes O'Neal. They're back across.
O'Neal goes to the motion guy. West goes to the motion guy. O'Neal fills in that gap. And then they bring that tight end around it. Now, guess what? Your linebackers are looking for it now. They run it over and over again. Now you've got your linebackers in perfect position. You've got your strong safeties covering that 5 to 10 yard zone. They've shown they can complete the pass.
2nd and 10 ball on the 24. He's back to pass Connor again. He's going to throw over to the right-hand side. Incomplete.
Well, it's kind of hard to complete the pass when you don't have your legs. They had a really good rush that time. The quarterback was hit as he was throwing the ball. He couldn't get anything behind it.
So, yeah, that brings up a big 3rd and 10 here. You know, Gallatin's got good field position. You feel like you've got to do something here. You know, if you don't get something here, you're really going to kick yourself.
Yeah, but you got that experienced defense. I think they're going to be all right. Let's see what happens.
All right, so he's in a quick pass and incomplete.
Did you have control?
No, I think that's incomplete there. Yeah, looks like West comes up from the corner spot. See on the replay here. All right, here's the replay. Germantown sitting in a 4-3 this time. A little different look.
You got 2 guys deep. You got your cornerbacks walked up.
Okay, so right there, good coverage. Just knocks the ball loose. So it's a strong safety. Okay, yeah. And the cornerback was further back. So Germantown's still keeping everything in front of them, but with that 4-3 and then with the lineback and with the strong safety, they got 4 right there in the middle.
You got 4th and 10. You know, your quarterback started off doing good. Now your backup quarterback also looks like a backup quarterback.
Yeah, 0 for 3 the last 3 passes. I mean, that's, you know.
It's almost like Germantown said, we'll give you a few, but that's enough.
Yeah, that's it.
They let that open up, and then they tightened up a little bit, and I'm going to try to shut that play down.
Well, they're relentless as usual. So here we go, 4th and 10. Connor's going to roll back to his right-hand side, throw down the field, and incomplete. Good coverage back there once again.
Yeah, that's good. A good rush. That line came at him, so you got Duggins. You got Pruitt coming through there. You got Watts back in the hook zone. Your DB's back. Good all-around play. 4th and 10, ball goes over.
So, yeah, you know, 7-play drive, 54 yards, but you get nothing out of it. And I think that's the issue, right? I mean, so you start out, you know, you've only run the ball 1 time for 7 yards. Everything else came through the air. I just don't think you can make that kind of balance happen on this kind of drive. I think you've got to get some running yards, and they just weren't able to do that.
Well, the whole time that clock is ticking, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they started throwing it, trying to conserve some time as well, I think. But they just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, because if Germantown gets a hold of that ball, you know what they're going to do. They're going to put together one of those patented drives.
Yeah, they're going to take the air right out of it. So these guys had to score on this drive, and they pulled out all the tricks. Counters, crosses, hooks, everything. And it worked for a while, and then Germantown said, you know what, that's enough. And they tightened up the defense and shut that down.
Yeah, they got 2 first downs out of it, and they switched the field, and that'd be fine and everything. It was the first or second drive, but you're down by 3 touchdowns. I mean, at some point, you've got to get some points because you know what Germantown's going to do with the football. They're going to run it down your damn throat, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it, and they'll take time off.
Yeah, at this point, Germantown's playing the clock. They're not playing Gallatin. Yeah. They got a game going against the clock.
1st and 10, ball on the 24-yard line. Coppage over on the right-hand side for about 3 yards.
Guess what? They're going to run right up the middle at you, and they're going to play ball control at this point. As long as that clock is rolling, they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, and everybody knows it. Everybody sitting in the stands knows what Germantown's going to do. Anybody that's seen Germantown this year has seen what they're going to do. And so, you know, they've got 9 people stacked up on the line of scrimmage, and that still can't stop this attack. They're still going to get 3 yards, in which – why does it go, Coach? 3 times 4 is 12. That's right. Germantown math?
It was 3 times. Yeah, 2 times 4 is 12, which is more than 10.
Yeah,
this is what you need.
That's what we do.
That's where it starts right there. And that started last summer. That started in the weight room. That started in conditioning. You know, you don't win games on Friday night. You collect your check. You collect your trophies on Friday night. You win games in the summer. You win games in the off season.
Yep. So they're in 2nd and 7. Just they pulled the backside guard here. Doesn't look like Gallatin kind of sniffed it out here. Let's see. See here, Coach, what you see here. It looks like he pulled the backside guard.
Well, what they're trying to do is block down and make this guy think he's unblocked. And by the time he thinks he's unblocked, you hit him in the chin. The problem is there's a guy right behind him. And he crashed out on the play rather than staying at home and kind of blew up the play.
Well, there's a lot.
Running.
There's a lot of Division I football players on this team for Gallatin. I mean, there's some talent there.
Yeah, that's how they got to where they are, and you're absolutely right about that. And now there are Division I players all packed inside.
There goes Coppage, 3rd and 8, and first down Germantown.
And sometimes it doesn't matter.
So there you go. I mean, first down, Germantown, it's 3rd and 8, and look here, you can see Tubbs, and he's going to run his man off. I mean, sometimes it's better to run a guy off than to block him, and that's exactly what it is. Look at that open up over there, Coach.
Well, apparently they didn't see the scouting report, so they saw that Tubbs and thought he was really fast. So they were really, really getting back too quick.
And he's not that fast.
He's not that fast. So that's a failure in the scouting department. They go on. And anyway, Tubbs runs his guy deep, and that gets room out on the outside for Coppage. They went inside a couple of times, being really conservative, and then when they needed to get the yards, they popped it outside, and it's first down Germantown.
All right, 1st and 10, ball on the 40. Neighbors is going to hand off straight up the middle again to Can 2 for about another 7 or 8 yards.
Run by George.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's Germantown football right there.
Hang on to that ball. He took the hit, spun off of it, and you'll always see watch these Germantown running backs. Right in behind Cecil and Whitfield. Cantu gets by the way. Those are 3 juniors, by the way. Talk about senior leadership.
Yeah.
Takes the hit, keeps on going. You'll see all these Germantown running backs falling forward. You very rarely see them going back. They got the momentum going forward, getting that extra yard.
And there's a 2nd down play for a Germantown. I don't think he quite reached the first down. First down, Germantown. So, yes, he got what he needed. He got those 3 yards. So, first down, Germantown. So, Germantown just doing what Germantown does right now.
Yeah, and there's no reason to quit doing that at this point. 1st and 10, got the ball on their side. Going this shift. Gallatin's just saying, okay.
All right, timeout on the field. Timeout Gallatin. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Back to Gallatin, Tennessee. Germantown 24, Gallatin 3 here in the 3rd quarter. Germantown on the go, Coach. So bring it up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 43-yard line. Neighbors is going to pitch out to Moss on that left-hand side, and he's going to pick up about 6-7 yards.
Nice move.
So Germantown, 7 plays, 36 yards on this drive. Once again, they're not going to throw the ball because that stops the clock, folks.
Yeah, the scariest thing they're going to do is pitch it. Other than that, They're going to take the safe element, and why not? They've earned the right to be careful. That time, Moss gets just enough for the first time. These guys, again, at this point, they're playing Mr. Clock. They're not playing Gallatin. As long as that clock moves, as long as they don't make any mistakes that stop the clock, they just want to go home at this point. So they're ahead. Let's keep the clock moving and head back to Germantown.
All right, 3rd and 1, ball on the 39. There's a handoff over on the right-hand side for about 8 yards. That's just right up the middle. First down, Coach.
Yeah, you're not going to be behind 24-3 to Germantown and stop them on 3rd and 1. That is not. Look at the surge. Goodness gracious, those guys staying low. That's pushing. It's just like they drew, like driving a truck through the hole because there was plenty of room for it. That's just the exercise they've been doing. That's what they've been practicing all year long. That's textbook contact and drive.
1st and 10, ball on the 33. Quick pitch to Coppage. There it is. They see a whole 53 pitch for about 4 yards. And I don't know that it ever has not netted at least 3.
You know what? And somebody needs to go give the game ball to these guys at Gallatin who keep filling the holes in there and making these big hits. Coppage is a hard guy to bring down one-on-one. These guys keep filling these holes and slowing things down.
Yep, so this is what we're playing for, folks. Everybody wants to get to the state championship. That's what Germantown wants to do, take the air out of the ball here in the second half and just win this thing and just get there safe and get there without any injuries. You know, this bunch had a lot of injuries mid-season, and it cost them a game against Pine Bluff. They had about 5 guys out, and, you know, I mean, it took them a while to get healthy again, but once they've gotten healthy, they go back to running their bread and butter, and this is it right here, 54 pitch. And there's nothing you can do. You can't stop it.
No.
So I was talking to Rocky Graves earlier, and he told me that he lifted this off of an LSU game. He lifted 53 and 54 pitch off of LSU game footage. So there's first down. There's Germantown going to hand off on the left side. Another first down. Oh, holding on Germantown.
Is that the first flag of the game?
I think that's the first flag. First flag on Germantown.
Little quick hitter.
And they're on the left-hand side, so it must have been Duggins and White's fault.
It could not have been Elliott Watts on that thing. That guy's been flawless the entire season. So
I don't think he's ever had a holding penalty, but this could be it.
Tag Duggins with that one.
Poor
He has a propensity to be naughty.
I hate to hear that. All right, there's the draw play there for Coppage. Look at there. Over on the right outside, breaks it outside, and picks up another 8 or 9 yards.
That's awesome. That's a brilliant play call. We're not going to pass it. No, we're not really going to pass it. You think we're going to pass it? It's a draw play, you silly. And then they got a running back coming through there. Coppage is going to go off that block. Right there. He's going to bounce it outside. Now it's one-on-one, and we like our numbers when we have that. He's able to squeeze out. Look at the crowd upside. That's the visitor side, folks. They're up there filling up the visitor side. Great crowd support from the folks at Germantown.
Yes, sir. Germantown brought a big crowd here tonight, and they have money on the game, folks, according to Ron O'Neill.
And a keg in the bus, which is a heck of a lot of fun for those folks.
3rd and 1, ball on the 26-yard line. Germantown, just a hell of a drive right here. I mean, you just got to hand it to them. They're just doing everything they want to do. And you know they're going to run it. There's still nothing you can do about it. So there's Germantown, 8 formation.
Put 9 in the box. Let's see what happens.
Guess what? Another first down.
Of course it is. Keep that clock running. First down, Germantown.
All right, end of the 3rd quarter. 24-3, Germantown.
I'm my team's #1 fan. Yay, sports. I've never been #1 at anything until I put these babies on. Now we're on a winning streak, and I have never taken them off. Do I know where I'm going? Absolutely. We're going to the playoffs.
Allstate guarantees your rates won't go up just because of an accident, starting the day you sign up.
So get accident forgiveness from Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
It's good to be in good hands.
Here we are back to the start of the 4th quarter. Germantown 24, Gallatin 3. So, Coach, here's your 3rd quarter stats. What jumps out at you?
And jumps out at me is they came out and Germantown kept the ball the entire time. Gallatin, now all these plans they had time, all things they're going to do to come back, and Germantown just did what Germantown does. They played great defense. They held on the ball. They stayed disciplined. They didn't make any turnovers. All those things that Germantown does is what they did in the 3rd quarter. So Gallatin needed to make a big move. They didn't make. Germantown needed to be conservative, run the football, run that clock, don't mess up. What you don't want to do now, they started off being a little conservative. They let those passes go over in the middle, but they finally got tired of it. They tightened everything down a little bit. And when they tightened everything down they went right back to being relentless as they normally were. So everything has gone the way they want it to go. Germantown is deciding how this game's going to go.
So, yeah, then you look on the Gallatin side, find your confidence. And I can't say they really did that. You know, use your speed outside. That's the only thing you thought you might be able to do, and they haven't been able to do that. The defense didn't give up any more points, but good Lord, that Germantown burned the whole clock out. And forcing turnovers, that just wasn't even an issue. I mean, so I'm going to have to give them a D on that one.
Yeah, well, Gallatin stars haven't been stars. I mean, they have a receiver that's supposed to be fantastic, a D1 receiver. They had a backup quarterback, and we can't forget the fact that they're playing with a backup quarterback. But you got to expect at this level that guy is probably a starting quarterback in most other schools, so it's not like this guy's a slouch. Germantown's just decided this is their game and they're going to run it their way.
All right, 1st and 10, ball on the 23. There's a handoff right up the gut on the left-hand side, right behind Gerald Kilpatrick in there. And you can see Kilpatrick gets good move, and then Germantown is actually going to run a little bit of a counter, bringing the run running back over to the right side and run back to the left. Germantown got about 3 yards out of it, and that's once again 3 times 4 is 12.
Gerald's one of those juniors that are crucial for this team. And again, you didn't see his name in the paper a lot. He wasn't a senior. He wasn't getting quoted in the paper on TV. I don't know that you're here without him. He's a pivotal part of that line.
Absolutely, and a great defensive player. Plays a lot at defensive end, too. Plays a lot on both sides of the ball. Look at that time of possession in the 3rd quarter, Coach.
Yeah, that's the last thing Gallatin needed. He needed everything but that.
I mean, so there's Neighbors just right down the field. There's your textbook option. Decides to keep it one time, and Neighbors doesn't like to do that. He'd rather pitch it. I mean, you know, he would rather pitch it. So timeout, Gallatin coach here. Walk us through the triple option in multiple sets.
The triple option is based on taking what the other team gives you. So you can run out of A formation, you fake the handoff to the fullback, the quarterback keeps it and goes. And that time the fullback was covered, Neighbors gets a big run. Or you can run the same play out of a different formation, it just looks a little bit different. In this case, that first option is not there, so the quarterback gets rid of it. Now you've got that option, the open place on the outside, or you can run a pro set, same play, different formation, and they can hand it off and carry out the fake. That way, there's 3 different options on every play. Whatever the team does is wrong.
All right, 3rd and 3, ball on the 16. He's going to reverse out and hand the ball over and flip the ball on the right-hand side, and Coppage for about 3 yards and a first down, Germantown. So, you know, this is just relentless on offense. I mean, Germantown is just pounding the ball down the field. That's what they're doing.
But what they're not going to do is get tired. And that's one of those things when that ball possession is such a big deal. Look, it's harder to play defense. These guys are banging on you. Look, if you're on offense, you know where you're going. You know what the play is. You had the momentum. You had the head start of when the snap count is. On defense, it's harder to play.
All right, 1st and 10. There's a pitch over to Moss over the left-hand side, and another 6 or 7 yards for Germantown. So there's the net. Yeah, it's just really close. I mean, they're getting down the field here. You know, Germantown, this is a great drive, Coach. I mean, just literally, I mean, this is a game killer.
Yeah, it is they're trying to slam the door shut. Whatever daylight they saw coming through the door, they're shutting it down, and they're closing it off for them, so nothing else. There's a 53 pitch. Oh, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Yeah, just a few times. I mean, you know, this is just bread and butter. Once again, back to the other side.
Look at the hole.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just look at that lead through right there. There, once again, there's the truck. There it goes.
Driving it right through the middle.
I mean, there's just no stopping it. I mean, you know, it's like USC when they would run, you know, student body left or student body right. 2nd and 5, ball on the 8-yard line. There goes Coppage over on the right-hand side this time. And, you know, this is the beauty of Rocky Graves. Look at this. So, like, they were running the ball, it seemed, between the guards, you know, on the 2 or 3 plays before this. Now it seems they're going a little bit wider. And when he does it, he'll do it multiple times, you know, because you think he'll only do it once, and then he just does it again. You know, it's just unbelievable.
Why not? And he gives the ball to the receiver deep, to the running back deep. That way there's no bumbling of the exchange or anything. He's giving it to him deep to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, 3rd and 4. There we go. Touchdown, Germantown. Here we go. I mean, so Germantown now goes up 30-3. I mean, just, you know, that backfield right there is just getting it done for them.
Watch how great this is. So at the very end of this play, there are linemen in the end zone with the running back. Look at the surge from these 3 guys. They come in, the surge going. Look at the linemen down the field. Everybody's down there blocking all the way down. That is just power football. Good job, Germantown offensive line. Cecil, Still, Whitfield, Watts, Duggins. That's just the motor that's running this machine right now.
And the amazing thing to me about it is this is the number 3 ranked team in the country. I mean, this is not just the number 1 ranked team in Tennessee. This is the number ranked 3 team in the country.
And Germantown's beating them like they owe them money. I mean, they are just wearing them out.
Rented mule, folks. Yeah, 17 plays, 76 yards, 7 of 76 rushing yards. Just unbelievable. Just pounding the ball down the field.
Look at the line surge. I mean, it's crazy seeing how far back these guys are getting blown, and when our guys really fire off of it. This is what Germantown's all about. It is a sophisticated power. It's not, you know, power football. You can stop power football. You can outsmart it, and you can outsmart dumb football. These guys, it's intelligent power football where they're taking what they can give and they're making plays and using the strength of the power along with that. So it's really impressive thing that we're seeing here tonight against one of the better teams in the country. Forget one of the better teams in the state.
So is that stat right? 17 plays on this drive. You think that'll eat some clock? Good Lord.
You need to be turning out the lights of this thing. I know our advertisers don't like that, but this son of a gun is over unless something major happens here in a little while.
And that is a patented Germantown drive right there. I mean, 7 minutes, 38 seconds, 76 yards, all on the ground. I mean, that ate up most of the third quarter.
As in Forest Neighbors would say, we're running right here. There was not a thing they could do about it. Everybody in the whole place knew what was going to happen, and everybody also knew it wasn't going to be stopped.
Look at that. 5 first downs. I mean,
boom, boom, boom.
Just
boom, boom.
unbelievable. Just pounding the ball down the field. So if you're Gallatin now, you're down 31-3. You got 8 minutes and 59 seconds. You might get one more possession. If you give the ball back to Germantown, they'll probably just do another one of those patented drives.
I think I see the bus driver heading towards the buses because the last thing you want after a victory is get into a cold bus. So I think the bus driver's headed to warm these things up just a little bit. Look at these guys. You think they haven't earned this? You don't think they don't love this? They have put so much into this. And again, we talked about it earlier. Games aren't won on Friday night. Friday night is when you show up and collect whatever check you wrote in the week.
1st and 10. He's dropped back to pass. And look at that pressure. Germantown just all over Mike Connor. I mean, he lost 10 yards. I mean, just that Germantown defense is just all over them. Jay Duggins. Look at Jay Duggins come right over here from the left-hand side. He's going to get outside, just sheds the tackler, double teamed.
Keeps that guy out of the way like he's not even there.
Yeah, just stayed with it. I mean, and Duggins is very upper body strength, and very strong upper body. Spends a lot of time in the weight room. He's a slender guy, but he's very smart and he's very strong upper body. That's just the way he is.
Well done. Way to slam the door shut, Jay Duggins. Yep.
So 2nd and 20 now. Ball on the 10-yard line. How many plays you got for 2nd and 20, Coach?
Well, with my backup quarterback, about 0 of them. So at this point, you got to start doing Hail Marys. You got to start really just doing things you're not very comfortable
doing.
Doing.
Roll back out and try to lure.
Screen
right in the middle. Screen in the middle. Nothing.
Is that Watts there on the defense?
I don't know. I think Watts is having a cocktail on the sidelines at this point. I think he's enjoying the second half from it. That's it's Gator barrel roll Thomas.
Cannot be. Whoop.
It will go down
like you're dancing
in history. The greatest barrel roll of all time.
Yeah, where are you going to throw that ball?
Yeah, but look at Gator right there in the middle. Seriously. I mean, look at that.
He's ready.
Take it on 3 guys. I mean, look at that. Look at Gator Thomas. I mean,
By
what
the way,
an effort.
That's an undersized defensive lineman to be kind.
Who likes to drink beer on the weekends?
But but he also knows how to fight.
Yeah, he knows how to fight.
He's pound for pound.
And
toughest dude out there.
And he just finished his 220. I think it was
like the week before.
Yeah, the week before.
Yeah, I think it was right before the Lexington game that he earned his way onto the team by finishing up his time.
I don't think they'd be here without him. No, I'll say that about Gator Thomas. 3rd and 20. All right. Connor's going to roll back out, set up over to his right-hand side, and then Watts there on the tip, and then was that the ball's up in the air. What happened there?
Did somebody catch it?
I think someone got it there signaling first
down. Everybody but besides Watts caught it.
Yes, there we go. All right, so here's the tip drill.
I love this because there is a thing called a tip drill, and you work on batting that ball in the air, and if it goes up in the air.
And so hands of stone here.
Elliot's hands are great, by the way. They just have pads all over them. That's a problem. So he can't get his fingers spread to go. So this way, and by the way, let's give him credit. He is exactly where he's supposed to be. These guys have run that hook zone all the time. He read it like a book
and can't
caught
catch
it with
worth
the shoulder
a damn.
And then Bob Jix comes in and says, "Thank you very much."
And he can't catch either.
I'll take my
he's
name
supposed to be
in the
a damn
paper.
receiver.
Von Tubbs says, "Bob Jix, get out of my way. I'm about to catch you."
Look at Tubbs grab that ball right at the end, and the official come in and actually saw that. Give him credit. I mean,
that's awesome.
That is a tip drill.
It is, and that's also a senior taking the ball away from a junior, saying, "I am the one who's going to get credit for this interception." Good job, Tubbs. Good job, Bob Jix, and great job, Elliott shoulder pad.
Hands of stone.
Perfect.
Hands of stone. All right. So there is Gallatin's 7th drive. It looks like everyone else except for the 3rd one. I mean, and at this point, Neighbors is ready to smoke a cigarette if he smoked. I mean,
They're talking about what they like to eat at CK's when they get back to Germantown, because they're not spending the night. They're not spending the night in
That'd
Gallatin.
be steak and egg in 1983.
Well, it's the only place that's open. It was steak and egg. It was steak and egg.
Yeah,
they're going to talk to Hazel, and there's Principal Aiken over there
everything out.
readjusting the boys, making sure everything's squared away.
I've got nothing else to do. I'm getting bored here. I'm over there. But anyway, so Gallatin, what do you do at this point? I mean,
well, you congratulate each other on a great season.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't take anything away from it. I mean, they had a good year. They just ran into a superior football team. I mean, that's just the end of the day.
You caught somebody hot.
Yeah. All right, so Germantown with a snap infraction. How about that?
Oh, my goodness. Now the
timeout Germantown.
Film day is going to be hell when we get there and talk about that.
All right, so one more time on the defense. I mean, this is the thing, So Leland Smith, this is his favorite quote. He said, we saw that in the newspaper and we decided to make it our own. And that's how we became relentless as usual. And that's sort of what they base everything on. And they really set the tone early. I mean, that opening kickoff was a huge momentum thing. But look at that defense on that first couple of drives. I mean, good Lord.
Leland was great about making the extraordinary ordinary. So I think that relentless as usual is, of course, we're relentless. That's what we do. That's who we are. And he set that identity, that tough identity that Germantown had. And Leland was certainly tough, and he coached tough football. The relentless as usual is saying, yeah, of course we are. That's not a big deal. That's our identity.
Yeah, I mean, just that this team can always count on their defense, and they can always count on their offense, and they can always count on their special teams.
You can't win if you can't score.
Yeah, you can't win if you can't score. I mean, it's been said many times. All right, so handoff over on the right-hand side, a couple yards. So, Germantown looks like they got some guys in here to give them a little playing time, get them on the record books here in the state semifinals. And look here at the defensive end. This is sort of a nice play by this kid. Look at him barrel down, show his numbers.
He decided in the fourth quarter it was time to make a great play.
There you go. I mean, just a great play on his part. TSSAA state playoffs, Germantown versus Gallatin. The winner of this game is going to face either McCauley or Jefferson County in the state finals next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. So a lot on the line here. That's what these guys have been playing for all year long. 2nd and 15, ball on the 25. Neighbors under center. Germantown split backs. Neighbors going to go over to the left-hand side, and nothing there. And look, Coach, what does that mean when Rocky's on the sideline?
When Rocky's on the sideline, that means the game's over with. That means he has seen enough. We got this. I don't need to see what's going on up here. Let's get down and congratulate my team for a great effort.
And that is a damn good-looking leather jacket he's got on in 1983, too.
Stylish, if nothing else.
No question about it.
That's just a busted play. You need to hang on to it and go down. And look, here's the deal. Now, let's also think of something else. No injuries.
Big point.
Nobody got hurt tonight.
Huge point. Huge point. All the momentum.
No major mistakes.
Yeah,
tons of momentum. Going against one of the top teams.
The third-ranked team in the country. I mean, that's, it is what it is, right?
It just is what it is.
And I'd like to see the other top two teams play this team. I really would.
Yeah, all right. So you're going into the season. You've whipped the best team that's supposed to be out there, and you're going to play somebody that's had a mediocre season. Do you try to keep your team humble, or do you tell them they're the best team in the state of Tennessee? Let's go out and collect our gold next week.
I don't know. That's going to be a tough thing, right? I mean, because you got to keep these guys motivated. I will say one thing about this bunch, though. That's all they've ever talked about since 8th grade. I mean, just from talking to them, that's the only thing that matters to them. I don't think they care about anything else at this point. College and life and everything else after that and what you're going to do is going to happen after this season's over, and it's going to give you, 4 months to do that from the time you finish football until the time you graduate to think about all these things. But to focus on this and be this dedicated to something and just focus on that single goal is something that will make you successful in life.
So your next week's practice is just like the previous week's practice.
I don't think there's any question about it.
We're not cocky. We're not humble. we're just Germantown. We're going to go out there.
Well, I think what Germantown will do, the only thing that I think they might do different, they might not run 220s on Wednesday. They might try to keep their legs fresh, but if this is the number 1 ranked team in the state of Tennessee and the number 3 ranked team in the country, and Germantown just came into their field after riding on a bus for 4 hours and just beat the ever-living hell out of them, then I'd be curious to see what happens.
Hey, this is a team that was doing full-speed contact drills 3 days ago.
Thanks. How about a Bud Light?
Yeah, great.
Get on it.
That's not what you think it is.
Oh? Then what is it?
Oh! Did somebody open a Bud Light?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Here, have mine.
Oh!
Bud Light?
All right, here we are back in Gallatin, Tennessee. Germantown 31, Gallatin 3. So at this point, I don't know what else we can say here. Germantown just sort of running some clock here on this 8th drive. I mean, getting some guys some playing time. I mean, I think this thing's over, Coach.
Yeah, it's done, and you played your game your way. It's over. And enjoy, be a gentleman, which these guys will be. They're not going to rub it in. They're going to talk a lot of smack. They didn't come here to win this game. They came here to get the next week.
Yeah. 1st and 10 ball on the 22-yard line and nothing there. I'll say this. I bet you that Germantown defense doesn't want to give up any more yards. I know that about that defense. They take a lot of pride. They don't like giving up an inch.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2:25. I bet it's not a touchdown. These guys are still got an attitude no matter what the score is.
Oh, they're mad. They give up 3 points early. I mean, so the quarterback reverses out here, you can see, and then when he turns, it looks like Gerald Kilpatrick. Look at him crashing down right there. Look at that.
He took on 3 people.
Yeah.
And he's making a tackle with a guy still trying to block it.
Yeah, I mean, Gerald Kilpatrick will probably be a 2-way starter next year for Germantown. I mean, he's that talented. He's another one of those Germantown red shirts. All right, so there goes Connor back to pass. He's looking downfield, throwing down the field, and look, it's incomplete.
Anybody there?
Yeah, once again, I mean, there's nothing you can do at this point. You've got to get the ball down the field, but I mean, he's 0 for 7 in his last 7.
And he came out of the box hitting some big passes.
Yeah,
I mean, he did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
so he just missed that guy by a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a confidence thing or
just good coverage there. 3rd and 8, ball in the 24. All right, Gallatin can split a man 2 out to the right-hand side. There goes Connor back to pass. He's rolling to his right, looking downfield, running out of time, and interception.
Oh, my goodness.
Picked off by Bon Tubbs. There we go. Tubbs is in the host. Well, I'll tell you what, man, if it wasn't sealed before now, it is over. They're on the bus now.
It's not bad having the receiver with his best hands also being a cornerback. So, if the other quarterback's throwing, he's probably going to catch it too.
Absolutely.
Hello?
Just a Bud Light.
You know what? Take this lip balm, this copy of Tongue and Cheeks, and these batteries for my watch.
Tongue and what?
Copy of Tongue and Cheeks.
Oh, porno. Lip service, rear-ended, nuts and bolts. Where do we keep tongue and cheeks?
What?
Tongue and cheeks. This guy wants porno.
It's okay, just give me whatever.
Check under the counter. That's where we keep all the really weird shit.
Jim? Jim Scott?
Hey, Heather.
Hi. I haven't seen you since prom.
Here's your
saw
tongue
mom
and
yet.
cheeks.
Whoa. It's for a friend. I don't read those.
I do. I read the hell out of them. When I'm done, it looks like it's gone through a paper shredder.
This month, you get a free copy of Pink Slips with your tongue and cheeks. It's a bit more upscale.
That's a bonus.
and this pocket
Nice.
or a 12-inch free.
Just the magazine.
Careful with that.
Just the magazine.
Free.
Just put the magazines in the bag.
You're gonna need a safe word, and it shouldn't be more.
Just the mags in the bag.
But get the 3-pack. That way you save money. Last 2 pages are recipes. A lot of people don't even get that far.
Have fun.
Hey, if you're not gonna take that free think I can have it? You can never have enough.
All yours, bro.
Nobody move! Or the porno guy gets it!
It's not mine. It's for a friend. Yeah, right.
We're live downtown, where local porno buyer Jim Scott has been taken hostage, along with his pornography.
You made national TV.
Reactions from Jim's mother after the break.
All right, so we're going to have an interview with Jim's mother here shortly coming up in post-game, so we'll get back with you on that. This is looked like every other, Gallatin drive. So Germantown's going to take over, 1st and 10 ball on the 35-yard line. Neighbors under center, A formation, going to pitch out and go to that left-hand side. Or right-hand side, I'm sorry, and just the same result every other time they do it. They get about 4 yards, 54 pitch.
Started with it, ended with it. And again, I'm not a gambling man, but I bet they don't throw deep for a touchdown on this thing. They're going to play ball control, eat up what's left of the clock, keep everybody from getting hurt, and go home and get ready for next week, the big game.
I would love to see the season average on how many yards they average on 53 and 54 pitch. I really would love to see that.
And, I don't know if it was a result of him saying, I have the personnel for it, or I have a play and we're going to develop the personnel for it. But whatever it was.
And then they come back right up the middle, right there behind Adam Cecil. Another Germantown first down. Just running clock at this point. I mean, like you said, there's been no injuries. What you want to do at this point is get this last minute and 45 seconds out of here and just get on the bus and go back. And there probably won't be too much celebrating because these guys seem really focused. They just want to do one thing, and that's win a state championship. Right. Bring it back to G-Town, USA.
Talked about it earlier. They did not come here to beat Gallatin. They came here to beat Gallatin so they can go to the next game.
Yep, 1st and 10 ball on the 50. There's another run up the middle for 6 more yards. And once again, on the left-hand side, that's what Germantown does, just right up the middle for 6 yards.
I mean, everybody knows what's happening. They're still doing it.
Damn thing
They got everybody crammed in the middle. Look at the line.
Yeah,
their guys are standing straight up.
Yeah, that's Gerald Kilpatrick over there taking out that tackle, just knocked him
Rolled
over
on
his
head.
backside. I mean, good Lord.
And this game is over with no time left on the clock. Yeah. And Kilpatrick's making a guy do backflips.
Yeah, well, that's how good he is. He comes in and spells Watts, and he's that good. I mean, he can get it done. So this is Germantown and Gallatin in Jefferson County. So there we got a final, right. Coach. Jefferson County beat McCallie 17-7. So that sets up your final next Saturday night.
Well, they're going to need more than 17 points next week if tonight's game is any indication. But
yeah, no doubt.
Everything that goes out the window. State championship.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
much things, different things can happen. So many different variables.
Yep. Another run for about another 8 yards up the middle. The clock's running, 48 seconds left. First down, Germantown. And
high five.
If that hasn't done it now, nothing will do it. I mean, if you're Gallatin, I think you just got to, say, okay, we were undefeated and we just ran into, probably, one of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah, I think the parent bus has ordered cocktails in Jackson, Tennessee, about halfway.
And a keg.
So the bus can stop and warm up and finish out the trip.
All right, 20 seconds left, 18. Germantown just neighbors at the line of scrimmage is still in A formation. That's what we do.
Huh.
Shocker, I know. That's going to be it.
Hard. He's still running hard.
Yeah.
He still took a hit.
That's what they do.
Out of it. The son of a gun is over.
That will do it. That will do it in Gallatin, Tennessee. Germantown 31, Gallatin 6. Just a whipping in every way imaginable, Coach.
I think the only people that expected this was everybody wearing white and red. I mean, everybody else wearing green in the city and the state all expected that Germantown's hard run came to an end tonight. The only people who knew this was going to happen was everybody wearing white and red.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You know, so the Nashville paper picked, you know, Gallatin to win by 10. You know, they were ranked 3rd in the country. And Germantown just came in and dominated like they've dominated everybody else for the last month and a half. I mean, there's your fourth quarter total stats.
The game's on the line.
-8 yards.
Gallatin's desperate to try to get back in it.
-8
less than
yards.
3 minutes
Yeah.
possession last quarter.
Look at that. I mean, look at the time of possession. There's your total first half stats. I memean, just total domination there. I mean,
That's
almost
crazy.
4-1.
The time of possession is crazy.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you know, look at the turnovers, 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, and that results in you know, just your rushing yards. I mean, that's just Germantown football. Your second half stats,
So
just more
5
of the
turnovers
same.
for the game.
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable the way they just dominated.
And you know what? That's not luck.
No.
It wasn't 5 turnovers because, you know, they had an off night. It's Germantown's defense causing those things to happen. Germantown put up 31 points tonight. Defense gave up 3.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you know,
then 5 turnovers.
they just whipped them in every phase of the game. Actually, there wasn't one part of the game that they didn't beat them in. I mean, you know, the one time Germantown punted, they punted for 39 yards. Good Lord!
How do you ground them? How do you convince them this thing's not over with already? We'll see.
Like I said, that's all this bunch has ever wanted to do is win the state title. And we just heard from Gallatin coach Calvin Short. He said the best team he's ever seen in this state, bar none. So that's quite a compliment.
He's seen a lot of them. He's
Yeah.
seen they make deep runs in the playoffs every year. So he's seen the best.
Yeah,
the best
he's won a
teams in the
state
year after
championship.
year.
You know. So, final thoughts here, Coach.
All right, well, this thing is over. And again, the statistics say that you win the game next week for the state championship, but also the statistics said Gallatin wins this game tonight. So you got to go into this game being humble. You got to ignore all the TV lights and the newspapers from all 3 channels are going to be out. You know, there's 3 channels that you can watch football on. They're all going to be off to do interviews. Everybody's going to tell them how great they are, but somehow I think this coaching staff will bring these guys down to earth pretty quickly and let them know they got a game to play next week.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think if you're Germantown, you just have to realize that it's not over. You know, it's a big game. You came in here. You did what they said you couldn't do, but it all is still in front of you, right? You can win next weekend and be the state champions for the rest of your life, and possibly based on, you know, what Larry Ray and several others have said, maybe one of the best teams to ever play in this state. I mean, that's something to fight for too, right?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
and that's the only thing. Germantown has lost a state championship before. They haven't won one before. So they get a chance to do something nobody's done before. And, you got a Jefferson County team in the way, but I think Germantown is playing against themselves. I think they're going to go in there and say, if we don't make mistakes and we play our kind of ball, we've already proven what we can do.
Well, I think the goal for Germantown at this point is to win next Saturday and then have a huge party at Chris Coppage's house. I mean, that's what
I hear that may be the place to do that.
All right, Coach, we'll wrap this up. This sure has been a lot of fun watching these Red Devils just beat up on Gallatin tonight, and who knows what happens next Saturday.
It's been a fun year. We'll see what happens next week.
All right.